Hi friends, I'm Rocky Outcrop. This is the NFT thing. We're going to be taking a look at that. Welcome to the show. We like Gamestop over here. So we're going to be looking at this NFT chat this evening that's happening. If there is any, hey, it could all just be rumors spinning around the rumor mill. Let's see what type of thing comes out the rumor mill. Over here we have the chat screen as ever, so I'll be tuning in to the chat with y'all to pop up messages from time to time so we can chat, getting things like lol. Nice to see you, Sal. Good to see you. Smash that like. That's what you should do, everybody. If you haven't thought of doing that yet, keep on doing it. Do it. Do it. Smash like. All right. Good to see. Good to see you in here, Frog Lord. What doing? What you doing? Good to see you in here, Bolaz Shabo. And NFT announcement by RC now. Well, I mean that would be nice, wouldn't it? We're just going to see what happens. I mean, do we think that's likely? No, well, not really. But whoa, wouldn't it be brilliant? So we're here to see what happens, eh? Together. So we've got everybody here. Got some strange comments came in earlier on. Joe Blob turd. Followed up by Gary. Should I call my mom or go buy some toilet paper? Tune in and see. Well, everybody wants to find out. Be paying attention to that one. Be sure to come back, Gary, and tell us how you got on with that. We've got the charts here as well to take a look at. I can stick myself down in the corner for a wee while. How about that? Nah, nobody puts Rocky in a corner. And how did we get on today? Look at that wee green line that's in there. Revealing. Oh, and can anybody remember what I said would happen this morning? When we did the live stream, can anybody actually remember? Was it along these lines? Was it along these lines? I think it probably was. How long will the stream be today? Well, we'll see how long this NFT chat goes on for. I have the stream ready. Bing bong over here, so let's see what they're chatting about.
And get back your initial investment, or maybe more.
Ron, any other thoughts, Samuel or Nick?
It's just the same as Cliff was saying there, which is more mainstream games. They
Okay, cool. So we can come back and look at what they're talking about with the NFT stuff or whatever, and see how long it goes on for. What's going on over here? Where is this? What's the one I have here? This one here. So yeah, we can take a look at that, and we can see here that this is I think we talked about this. You know, the rise up in prices, followed by coming in at 886 Fibonacci retracement. We did push up very high towards the 190 zone, not quite getting to 190 because that was a bridge too far. Coming back down into here for the golden pocket. Did we talk about how we would do this? I think we did. I think we also mentioned it time to look out for. I think I gave the details. You know, the possibility here in these smaller term time frames of the bullish bearish divergence and how that could impact on us, and where we could see any retest coming in for if we need to in the future. There was that. There was also is there not also some chat? Did I say this sort of thing earlier on? I can't remember if I did or not. The upward kind of trend that we're in and experiencing, this little bit of a pullback so far that we're seeing, how we've come in for a higher high and managed to do that in the 4 hour time frame without divergence. Did I mention that? And how you'd be looking for that? Was it this stock I was talking about, just trying to get a higher high on? I can't actually remember. I struggled to remember what it was I was talking about. I could look back and see with the technical analysis. Oh, hey, we're live. Are we actually live? Just checking here and see that we're actually live. Yep, definitely live. Double checking. Good to make sure that we're actually live. Had a few hiccups with that recently, so let's check in and see what these nerds are talking about.
When I started 2 years ago, being one of the first projects, the space was quite different. There was not as much focus on earning money as there was of actually owning the items, and then potentially reselling them.
What? There wasn't as much focus on it apart from this, and then potentially. What are you talking about? Just contradict yourself.
Their model of focusing
I've
primarily
never heard of that
on
game. What's actually
earning an income, and almost like making a job out of it, kind of turned the whole item ownership like into the back, like it's made it very minuscule. And I think the focus has just been on playing to earn and almost like replacing an income.
How are we doing in volume over there, right? I'm not sure what to expect with this thing. I was told to do this, so we're doing this together. It's going to be good to see. It could be some game. This is the way that they titled it with G, capital G space, and then a small a, and then capital M-E for this part that's coming up. I think it's coming up in 5 minutes. So maybe they're just chatting away here in the meantime. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. You can inform me in the chat if you know more about it than I do.
Support to our games.
We will be adding value, by the way. We always add value on the show. And let me know if the volume levels are good. I'm going to put it back up to maximum here on the YouTube.
Follow them around as they're sold and non-sold to other people. So I think that also adds a different avenue to it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think what would have life have been like back in the early days if Qbert and Pac-Man could interact with each other, and you can have a hybrid game, right?
Yeah, I think definitely. You get kind of, I guess, more creative with that kind of thing. I know that traditional video game companies are very protective of their IP, and that sort of imposes limitations on what you can do with it. For example, I used to work for another company. We did a Battlestar Galactica game. We weren't allowed to use any of the characters from the main story.
Well, that's rubbish, Battlestar Galactica. But maybe it was fun. Is there feedback coming through as well? Are you hearing feedback? Let me know if there's feedback.
So we weren't allowed to use any of the traditional actors, so they were very protective.
Fucking toasters, eh?
Obviously, using characters in other games that aren't your IP is also a bit of a no-no for most of those companies. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge for them to let go and change that potentially.
Yeah, that's a lot of interesting stuff. Nick, did you have anything to say on this topic? There's some interesting aspects here around incentives and rewards for people doing specific things in the game, around NFTs and currencies and things like that. Also, I know, Cliff, you mentioned like people are more focused on earning necessarily than owning, but I don't know how this is playing out, but in the real world, I earn and then I buy an asset to kind of store the value that I have, right? Buy a house or stocks or something like that. So I'm curious if these assets, even though they're not being traded as much, they're sort of being seen as an asset to store the value that they earn. Nick, what are your opinions on this, especially in light of how developers see the opportunities?
From a more developer side of things rather than the player, it opens up whole new opportunities on how you can build revenue for your project. The past decade, maybe, advertising has...
Oh man, what are you talking about? These guys are exciting as. Just look, they're just so exciting. I love it. You can and their facial expressions and everything. I'll turn my mic volume down and I'll chat with you in the chat, the live chat that's happening with text. Okie dokie. My live chat text on this screen here is slightly delayed, but that's quite good because my broadcast out to you is slightly delayed, so it's all pretty good. It'll make up some of the difference. Let's see what they say. Oh, spinning wheel thing. Wonder what that's all about. Oh, that sucks. Is that my end? Am I still? Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good.
More efficient ways, and at the same time as monetizing, you're also...
I think we're good. I don't know. Maybe we're not good. Right? Who knows if we're good or not? Tell you what, though, we definitely don't need this level of quality from these chaps. 1080p, you mad? 480, that's way better with these chaps. They don't put charts up or nothing. Oh my goodness, though. Oh, Rocky, you're limiting the quality of the stream. Maybe then people will not be as excited. Their chat's filling up as well with folk who are tuning in, I guess, for this 420 stream. Why, damn it, work, damn you. Bulldog Buchanan, thanks so much for that.
Important. But it should be something that is also available, not something that should be the first primary thing to consider when choosing your game. But yeah, I mean, the monetization is important. The play to earn, NFT ownership, all those things. Having that true item ownership is super important for that player. And yeah, I think we're doing a pretty good job giving that to people.
I think that's also, you see a lot of dApps that are more built around how people earn and not so much about the game. And
yeah, maybe I'll not leave these guys talking quite so much. Who knows? I wonder if the stream has any problems because
now that people are discovering our games and engine games that are more focused on being a game first and then earning potential second, they're a bit surprised by that. And so, yeah, they're asking straight up, how do I earn? And then they realize, hang on, this is actually a proper game. It's not just.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they're having problems there because of the amount of people that are tuning in for the 420 section. So this is fun.
I played one of those.
I don't know. Let's just wait for 420. I mean, it is 420 now. 420, everybody. How are you doing? He's all doing good at 420. It's good. Just checking. Posture check. 420 posture check. 420 energy drink check. 420 YouTube refreshing itself check. All the checks happening here. Lol, vape pen check. That's right. Check. Where is this dude in the bottom right? Do you reckon he's in Atlantis? Is that Atlantis? I bet you that's a game thing or some NFT thing. One of the two. Anybody want to guess? I can tell this guy is up against the wall. He's got his dado rail behind him. Dado rails, that's what they call them. You know, that little bit strip of wood that goes along between the lower half and upper half of a wall to give you that kind of, you know, I don't know. I mean, you could paint them at one shade on the lower side and a different shade on the higher side to give you a different sense of depth inside your hall or whatever. You also get picture rails that are similar to dado rails for hanging them off of. Sorry, I was just meeting these guys at their level for a second. What am I doing? I'm such a chameleon, am I? Love you, Rocky. Bang you a virtual beer. Oh, thanks so much. 420. It would need to be a bloody virtual beer with the price of beers around here these days. Tell you what, it's mental outside. Mental. It's inflation, I tell you.
Especially on the business side of things, you know, we can't sell a $30, $40, $50 NFT in our store and then pay $30, $40, $50 for gas fees to send out.
Damn right. That's Ethereum was a big problem for a long time. I've been talking about that for ages. Ethereum 2.0, very necessary, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you want to talk about crypto and all the rest of it, we can have the same chats that these guys have all the time on the show. Anytime you like, we can do it. Chit chat.
Doing this for about 2 months now on our app exchange and no issues, you know. So every now and then there's glitches. It's still new, but for the most part, it's been really smooth, and it's really solved a lot of problems on our end. And
smooth.
Drop NFTs in players' wallets.
Nice.
Simon was just talking about JumpNet launching when the show came together, and so much has happened just since then. Cliff, Nick, have you guys used JumpNet as well?
Yeah,
Do you remember that movie Jumpers, where they could jump from one location to anywhere else in the world, and they would jump around. And then I think YouTube maybe even made their own sort of TV show based off of sort of spin-off of it. They kind of go, oh, and then they appear somewhere else, and it's a whole thing. Rob a bank and stuff like that. JumpNet, anyway, they're chatting about JumpNet. It's great.
At a time, is not worth doing. But on JumpNet with zero gas, it all runs so smoothly. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, JumpNet with zero gas, all runs so smoothly. It's fantastic.
It operates after having used it. After having using other chains, they're just bewildered.
Totally, right there with you, buddy.
So about a year and a half ago, I think, was when the Ethereum gas fees went through the roof. JumpNet wasn't ready then, so
no, of course it wouldn't be ready then. Wouldn't have been ready then. Back then, there's plenty of alternatives as well. By the way, Jamie on his stream right now, trade spotting. If you know who that is, if you don't, by chingos, you should really check out trade spotting. We'll check him out soon ourselves. He was talking about OneCoin just there before I left him and came round to my own place to do my own stream. And he was talking about how it does stuff goods and stuff like that. It's one of these ones that's got a bit lower fees, essentially. It's one of the big parts about it. And, you know, I talk about Tezos and things like that on the show all the time. You know, you've got these coins out there that do that sort of thing. Anyway, here's the man himself. Let's see.
Thanks so much. You never have to be sorry. It's not more. It's desperately appreciated. You fucking absolute legend. And
damn, he swore on my stream. I was doing a really good job of not swearing as well. And he sounds just like me. So, oh, gosh.
Bobbin. Just checking it wasn't Robin. It is definitely Bobbin.
Oh, Bobbin. Right, so we can do like raids. We can do like raids on his stream. I've already liked it. Excuse me. He's at 333. So you can do like raids. That's my brother. That's my brother. you probably know this already. I mean, you probably do, but you might not. And by the way, shout out to all my West Coast pals if you're tuning in. I hope you are, because I don't often get to say hi to my West Coast pals. So yeah, you can do that. That's his stream. Just give him a like. Oh, 334. Maybe that was one of you. Maybe that was one of you. Can you imagine if that was one of you? That's cool that we're doing this together. 335. That might have been one of you as well. Hey, 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 hey. Going up in number. Can we get one more? If we can get one more like on this, then I'll come back to my own content. How about that? Come on, come on. Come on, people can get one more like on here, maybe, right? Maybe not. Maybe there is just literally that much of a shared audience right now. We can't actually get that one more like. Come on, one more like. Oh, I'll ask people in here. Hit like you. I don't swear on this stream now, apparently. So, but I said it over there in his writing. So if we can get it up to yes, there we have it. So there you have it. Anyway, I need to pause this so I don't run out of bandwidth. I'll make sure I get the playtime in on that stream. I'll not close the browser tab before watching lots more of that one.
But if you have 100 of those assets and then the player base increases to 10,000, suddenly that becomes quite very rare.
Totally. Exactly, man. Rarity, scarcity. So if you have 100 and then the player base increases to 10,000, suddenly that becomes very rare. It's scarce at that point, isn't it? Isn't it just? Isn't it just? It's just like downtown flats in Tokyo, I tell you. Turn him up. Jamie knows. Turn him up. Rocket Crop, turn him up. Jamie knows. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Turn him up. Jamie knows. I don't know. Turn him up. Oh, turn him up. Jamie knows. Play.
Like,
Turn it up.
Wash and go doesn't work, right? You just
catch up.
Thanks. Because I also don't, I don't know. I go on, so much of like all human beings. Like my values and that are influenced by what other people's perceptions so on. So it is appreciated and the message means a lot. Thanks very much, Crack Croc.
Nice. Nicely articulated there. That was nicely articulated. He was having an articulation with somebody else. But I didn't quite catch his articulation towards ourselves. Maybe it was here. That's quite a dynamic shot.
Shampoos though, there are.
He's talking about shampoos. I get all my shampoo advice from Sasha now. She's over there watching over there in that one. Check her out. Check them out. So he says about GME in tweets all the time. Well, I'm sure he does. Time is money. Get on with what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Come on, people.
Engine within the game. And so players that drops in adventures and dungeons and things like that.
Oh yeah, adventures, dungeons, things like that. You've got your adventures, you've got your dungeons, you've got your adventures and your dungeons, things like that. So this NFT stream is potentially a little bit boring, says Apple Blossom. And I wish I knew what the hell they were talking about so I could find it more interesting. Oh, do you actually wish you knew what you were talking about? Okay, come on then here.
They can't immediately take out. They must push it back into the ecosystem. And that gets recycled around. So they must use it to either buy other blockchain items, spend it on the store. Once they've done that, that kind of goes back into the system. And then if they were to sell their blockchain item later, they can then withdraw that later. So it's kind of going with this whole play to earn thing that everyone seems to be focused on right now. That's what I'm saying.
But it sounds like you've done it in a way where it's not like, you earn and then you peace out. You gotta stay in the game. You gotta be in the game. You gotta be part of the ecosystem.
Okay, so what they're talking about right now is this guy in the bottom right who has some background which we were speculating on earlier on. He wears glasses. The one in the bottom right, he is. I'm assuming it's in the bottom right of your screens as well. His is a nice view off the edge of that cliff there, or whatever it is. Can't really quite tell. He has got a game. Presumably that background behind him will be from his own game. And this game that they're developing, maybe he's the developer, maybe he's the owner, maybe that goes hand in hand, is on the blockchain. And to get access to this or to certain items that exist within the game, you need to deposit some of your own crypto. At the time of which you do that, then of course this blockchain item could perhaps depreciate in value, etc. And then you pass it off to somebody else, and then you'd be able to withdraw your crypto back out. But you can't own the value of your item is in some ways linked to the deposit that you would have put in the first place. So you would have had two different valued items. One is the deposit you put in, and then you've got the item itself, which has its own sort of speculative value built on top of that. And then you would have of course, other people would then be able to buy that off you, they themselves depositing more in there. And that would then change the balance that you had if you were to buy and sell this item. But meanwhile, you've deposited your crypto with them, and there's a possibility that then you can get sort of play to earn rewards off the back of it. So what they do is they take all the users' money that's been deposited to buy these items for within the game use. And most of these games are fairly rudimentary in terms of what they are. You know, it's like it's nothing that you haven't seen before. Essentially, what I mean, not most of them are rudimentary, sure, by numbers. This guy's one that you might have made there might be amazing and totally fantastic, mind blowing graphics and everything. But the game concepts are just the same game concepts from normal things. So you might have experienced, you know, things like World of Warcraft or something like that, where you might get a magical item of a sword or some such, and then that's a unique item or something like that. So you can do all of that based through the blockchain, but this money that's been deposited would then be able to have a yield off the back of that money through a sort of DeFi, which is the decentralized finance. So they're able to then take that yield and pass it back to their players, who then earn money from playing the game based off the deposits that are held within the security of the account, and they're not at risk of immediate withdrawal based off the fact that the person to be able to do that would have to relinquish their item within the game. Cool. I mean, that's probably what they're talking about, right? I mean, I think that's it. So we tune in and find out what else it is. I mean, there we have it.
And marketplaces and stuff like that. But you guys touched on it, which is really important, is that proof of work. You know, not letting players just sit back and collect, but force them to play the game, spend those hours, and you know, for them to be rewarded, they need to do that proof of work. So for us, you know, we're mixing in some of those DeFi components into our game, but there's going to be, you know, a lot of proof of work that they need to do also, so they can't just jump in, collect, and get out. So.
Okay, so Beardy Guy here has his own game. This time around, it's based with the proof of work concept. Proof of work comes from cryptocurrencies. There's two main ways of running a cryptocurrency to prove the ownership over the assets within that cryptocurrency. So you've heard a lot about Bitcoin, and that's kind of the original and the daddy, and that is a proof of work cryptocurrency. And proof of work cryptocurrencies are the ones that use your computer or our specific purpose-built computer to actually, you know, verify the blockchain. I can get into explaining what all that means, but this basic component you need to understand is that you're using resources, hardware and electricity to generate mathematical equations that prove stuff existed in the world, right? Fair enough. Can we kind of just like, that's a bit of a blurry line definition. Then the opposite one would be this idea called proof of stake, where you have a certain amount of the network resources are allocated towards you, and you're able to verify your stake of that, and then the blockchain verifies the transactions on the network through a whole bunch of stakeholders who could be then at risk of having a strike against them and losing some of their investment, if you like, based on having had a reputation strike against them, and that kind of builds a consensus mechanism. And both of these properties together, you know, whether it's proof of work or proof of stake, are consensus mechanisms, and by consensus, as a very key component of it, just at the basic level, is to verify that the information that's on the blockchain is indeed correct. And the most simplistic way of saying that would be, imagine you had 4 or 5 different co-workers working on a spreadsheet. Somebody's putting in information over there, somebody's putting information over there. You get together at the end of the day, and you're wanting to know who's got the right numbers, which ones are right. You're looking for consensus between the 4 of you. You know, if you were then able to come back and say, on the one hand, look, here's all the workings out that I did, this is the correct number, that would be proof of work, you know, all of the maths. And everybody else sat there going, well, I don't have the numbers. And you're like, well, there's the numbers, right? Proof of work. And then the other mechanism could be that the 3 of the 4 people around the table say, look, you know, this is all of our project here together, we think this is what it is, we're all invested equally, etc. And we verified it, looked at it, this is the correct numbers we've got on the spreadsheet. And then you, of course, as the gatekeeper, would be thinking, well, what way do I want to run my spreadsheet? And that's kind of how that works. And this guy's got a game that's based off the back of it, so you'd obviously be then incentivized to do your proof of work. Now, one of the problems with proof of work across massive blockchain networks, when they're so disparate and so many of them, is that you could potentially have people who are just hopping from one blockchain to the next to try and reap the most rewards that you might get for mining within a particular set of rules based on their hardware to get particular rewards on a particular coin. So you can imagine a scenario where you're mining something called Raven coin that operates on the same basic premise as what Bitcoin mines on, and then one day you notice that Bitcoin actually you earn more for your computer power to mine it. So you hop over to a different network, start mining that. Raven coin becomes less secure, and then it's not as worth much as an asset, and that pulls away value from your chain. So you don't want that to happen on a sort of a really massive ad hoc basis. So if you incentivize it through having a game network based off the back of your blockchain, and you use the same sort of mechanisms that are involved in rewarding people, but instead of using proof of stake, you use proof of work, that could be what he's talking about. The fact of the matter is that me speculating on it right now and telling people about it is probably more interesting than listening to him explain it. And even if that idea is better than his one, then you heard it here first. Please do give me some sort of dividend off the back of having explained to you what that would be. That would be a good idea as a way of defeating that sort of mechanism within the markets, and also to kind of encourage people to play your game. It might be a fairly lightweight one, and it doesn't need to be cryptographically too secure if it's not at that much risk of an overall 51% attack, and that would be happening by having security on your network. And this is a concept then that would make this make sense from a game sort of point of view, and the security of that very network of the game itself. And it's a consensus mechanism. So that's how that could maybe work, right? Okay, so cut me in on any of these businesses you set up.
Digitize into the games as NFTs. Almost like the Second Life stuff where people were creating products and other virtual things that can actually be put onto the blockchain. Some of the projects are starting to do that now anyway.
It's super exciting. We had a rare opportunity to be part of the Animoca brand's Rev Racing game, where they put an Edge of NFT race car into their game, and there are 10,000 of our branded race cars. So guys, we have no IP restrictions. If you guys want to use Edge of NFT in your games, we're happy to offer up our IP. That was pretty fun, racing an Edge of NFT race car in a game. And I think that's a super cool trend. With that, I think.
And by the way, it has real value. I'm getting offers on OpenSea for my Rev Racing car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
OpenSea, that's an NFT marketplace. Cockroach Rancher, right? You know what? Tell you what. Let's we can go back to them in a minute, right? If you want to, you can tell me if I miss anything or something like that, or we can always see if it gets to the crucial part. We could always maybe just go back a minute and start at the bit if we do happen to miss something. The magic of internet as it is right now, and I could take a couple of seconds to just jump over to the chat screen. Just what could we say? I mean, to stay relatively sane. Gary, have you returned to us? I need to know what you chose in the end, Gary. Gary, I need to know what you chose in the end. I had this slight suspicion that you're taking the pee-pee. So I need to know, Gary. Come on, Gary, I need to know. Tell us, what did you do, or what did your mum say? Yo, Stefan S, good to see you. Good to see you here, everybody. Now, did I have a couple of donations earlier that should be getting some chitter chatter? Did indeed. I'm not really here, but in Tradesboying says anti-fanatic. You know what, pal? We don't want you here. And actually, no, that's cool. Thanks so much, man. That's really appreciated. €5. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it. Cheers. Support my brother. That's excellent. Keep doing that. Chris Sweeney. Cheers, buddy. Chris Sweeney. There's a guy that likes tech. So good stuff. I hope you're enjoying this fantastic show. So people came over from Jamie's to say hi. Thanks, everybody. That's really freaking awesome. That's quality. I've got 67 concurrent viewers. It's not like, the stream's set in the heather of light. Is this the wrong stream, though? I'm on the right stream. I'm looking all right. I'm okay. The lighting's not good. This camera's not good for it. Let's be honest, this camera's not good for it. Let's manage this over here on the other camera instead. So I'll copy my chat over, my wee alert chat snips, and go at the camera that's got better lighting abilities. Ping. So I've got these chat snippets, got everything else more or less there. We want to have the actual chat as well. Might as well have the actual chat, I guess. Where's my actual chat? Give me this thing here. Which one is it? Sorry, people. It's this one? Yes. Right. Great. Copy that over to the other one. We're moving. Okay, this is better. Right. I'm not doing that because I've got 67 live viewers. I'm doing that because I saw my own stream on YouTube and I was like, hold on a second. That's not good enough. I've got to look back at these in the future and think, What? Basically, by the way, a good question as to my sanity right now, though. I am essentially, effectively sat in the dark. I have one light over there that's shining over onto me. It's just that camera that I've got is really, really good. I like sitting in the dark sometimes, right? I get migraines. It's pretty. I mean, the light enough from the screen as it is. I might put on the light and then go back to the other camera. We could do the chat over there. Who knows? Probably people, probably overall aren't bothered. KT. What is this? What is this? What is this? I got your package, man. It turned out that it had been delivered to a shop down the street. And thankfully, they came and delivered it to me. The people from the shop. And I've been wanting to try it. What was that? Wait, you're now... I can't read it, man. It's too small on my screen. Sorry. You are more interesting. Oh, thanks, man. That's appreciated. I want it to appear over here on my fantastic doodah, so I can make your fantastic doodah message appear on screen. Come on, come on, come on. Where is it? Huh. Anyway, what we have over here. Oh, is there something else happening in the background? Ah, for F's sake. They've got something else happening, so we'll just jump over to this other screen just to see, okay? We can see if something's happening. This looks like an ad, you see. So maybe they're going to change their topic. And maybe then it gets good. That's what maybe was what we tuned in for.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we're on to the next topic here, which is going to be about play-to-earn and the play-to-earn economy. We're seeing that you're being able to play games these days and earn crypto or NFTs to actually... potentially even earn more than income and more than your current income. And we're seeing this kind of take a global phenomenon. Currently in Southeast Asia, with games like Axie Infinity right now, you can make up to like $1,000 a month, which is just a good start. But as more AAA games such as Star Atlas comes out, it looks to be like EVE Online or Star Citizen. That number will keep clocking up, especially as the whole crypto and ecosystems go up as well too. So we're excited to see how that.
Well, that's cool. $1,000 a month. That sounds like it's a segment I could maybe make it onto my own show. Games you can make $1,000 a month from, and we could review them as part of the thing. Now, I don't know if that's a morning segment or what. Look, this is super fantastic, absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Justin Wu. Cannot wait to rejoin you here for more of this super excellent chat. I love your use of that pop filter, buddy. Love it. Love the use of the pop. Actually, maybe when you abuse your microphone like that, you need to think about these things. I actually do have my level just ever so slightly too high. There we go. That's a little bit better, I suppose. But you don't want to be messing around with people who are listening. Yeah, no, it's fine. Just whack it back up to the max. Who cares? Look, mate, chill out, pal. Chill out, right? Chill out, man. That's more like it. Okay, cool. Fixed. Is he talking about something interesting? Let's just see, right? Can't tell. Let's do this one together. Chances are it's like a scan this QR thing in some wallet or missed it. Oh well. Right, so yeah, bye now. No, don't listen to them. I don't know who that guy is. I've got no idea. I've got no idea who this Frank Miller guy is. Cannot endorse it. Gala Games, I know who they are. Gala Games, right? Gala Games. It went away again. Look, you shut up your face, right? There it is. Okay. This is taking me to some place. Claim a reward. Install the Engine mobile wallet to claim the reward. Okay, I'll get it on Google Play. Let's do it. Engine coin. Engine is a popular token in Japan. And the reason why they'll be giving it away is because they're one of the largest Japanese, or Asian, I should say, probably actually, NFT platforms in a sense. Right, well, anyway, that can do its thing in the background and we'll do it. You can do it with me if you want. I'm as clueless as you, right? No, I'm not actually. But I'm just downloading the thing. We could do that together. right? Don't be sharing any. If it comes up a point at a time whenever there's some sort of private key type thing, don't be doing that. You can get your reward from them. Send it to me. Yeah, there we go. Get your reward. Send it to me. I hope this doesn't get me some sort of trouble saying that. So, talking about sending stuff to me, and I get off my Chris, love you much, man. Get off my screen. 2 shows in 1 day. That's right. 2 shows in 1 day. Cheers, Bad Mama Jammer, for tuning in. Love you very much, brother. I was saying it earlier on. I'll say it again. Love that guy. Right. So, finally, the anticipation is killing me. KT sent me some of these. These are, what are you calling this one? The round bar. I'm not sure if I'm going. I don't want to disrupt any of your own branding or anything like that. All I can tell you is I'm going to try this out now for the first time, and the smell of it is like, if people, right? Okay, look. It turns out that coffee and chocolate together, we knew that they would smell good, but KT's coffee, right, smells like amazing. And then this video is not sponsored by or any of that crap, by the way, as well. But chocolate always smelled good. Drew them together. Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh, not his proprietary chocolate bar. I'll tell you what though. He knows his stuff. I'm confused about that. But I know that he sent the package and that I got the package and that I'm eating it. And if that's not his coffee, he's just got a good nose for things. He knows what's good. So he sent me them because he knows what's good. Right? I'm not too sure. 100% not sure. We need to get that sorted out. We need to figure out exactly the story. I don't want to tell the wrong story behind these. Although I possibly already have. Oh, it smells really good though. Really nice. All right, you gotta go. No, you're not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to leave. Come back. Where is the GME stuff? Exactly, Lewis Johnson. Where is the GME stuff? Good question. Let's get on to the GME stuff. Apparently there was this thing earlier on. We did that. So I'm looking for it. This is we're trying to figure this out together, right? Trying to figure this out together. This is where it's supposed to be.
On both sides. Yeah. So, I mean, first and foremost, I would kind of just clarify. The concept of play to earn within the metaverse is maybe not fully fleshed out. I mean, what
my concepts that I outlined already in the show are probably really, really, really great. They'll probably be like, "Oh my god, he's amazing," stuff like that. That's what'll probably happen.
To the physical world as well, and so with that being said, the dual token system that we operate includes a transactional currency or medium of exchange.
So this is supposed to maybe have some GME stuff in it. It doesn't look like it's happening. Now their chat got hyped, people talking about it. Is it 420 PDT? Is that when it is? Or people are kicking the can down the road? We didn't get confirmation in the chat here from somebody who knows more than I about what it is. We know that we're after 420 PM EDT, right? We know that we're after that already. Damn it. I know that there's not his branding on there. I just didn't know if he was going to be reselling. Maybe he's just reselling them in his shop. In which case, great. That's the right decision. Yeah. Maybe it was 420 PDT, which would be when? Miles away, right? 20 past midnight my time? Yeah. Right. Have we got another escapee? We're going to put on we can talk about GME on the charts and stuff like that. We can talk about that. We can talk about other stuff, We can maybe get around to the real news. As Apple Blossom rightly pointed out to me, this is where the hype really is. You search MOAS on the GameStop website. Expected date of the Moasasaurus is October the 15th, 2021. That is right around the corner. Let me just dial this in. Wednesday the 13th. That makes it Friday. It's Friday takeoff day. Maybe Friday is the date we take off. Apple Blossom deserves the credit for this one. She discovered it. It is her theory. It's as good as anybody else's theory out there. I challenge anybody to come up with a better theory than this one. Search MOAS, comes back, tells you the expected date. What else do you want to know? What else do you want to know? That's the story. That's where it is. That's the news. So now you know, right? So that's your GME news. 10:15 is Ken Griffin's birthday. Well, there we go. Stars are aligning. 2.5 hours till PST 420. Is it due to actually be happening at PST 420, or is this just me staying up into the wee hours to for the shits and giggles? Don't expect to be turning this into a 4-hour live stream. If the Japanese adopt ENJ, engine token, then rocket time. Totally, if the Japanese adopt it. What do you mean, though? I thought they were already into it, well into it. So the biggest NFT... whatever. It's already started. Let's go check it, then. Oh, you're talking about MOAS? You might be talking about MOAS. If you are, cool. Oh, shit. You're right, Sauced. Really wanted to eat that next bit. Oh well. There's my review. Damn it. Anyway, for gaming, Japanese are one of the best for games. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The Japanese are. Talk about Konami, great, for example. Quality. You should go to Tokyo Arcade, awesome place. Would love to do that. I will one day make my way over to Japan, and we can I'll make my way over to Japan and I'll take you all with me through the power of the internet, and we'll broadcast from Japan sometime. How about that? That'll be quality, won't it? That'll be some quality. I can review Japanese products for us all. It'll be fucking brilliant. Tell you about Japanese food or something. So NFT people don't smile or what? Yeah, that's more or less it. The long and the short of it. They don't smile. Let's check in on them. Smiling a little bit. Bit of a Mona Lisa smile from Michael Hun. Michael Hun. Sorry, mate. Didn't mean to damage your name like that. Look at that ceiling in his pretend apartment behind him using the green screen effect on thingy. Pretty neato. Nice the way he did that. His skin color suits that blue light. The background picture. And then you have, which is a compliment, and not, I don't know. Anyway, shouldn't be saying, you can't say words like that. This guy here, I wonder if he's a bit more orangey looking because of his orange t-shirt, though. I do wonder that. Nice view out his apartment. Well, I mean, I imagine it's a nice view. I can see the horizon. That's cool. You've got this guy over here in the bottom left. He doesn't smile, though. He doesn't smile. He definitely seems to be following the fashion advice of the glorious leader. I like to see that with his haircut there. And and then over here, Beryl, which is cool. Beryl, it sounds a bit like Meryl, which is like Merrill Lynch, which is something that we've talked about in the past, I guess. Something like that. Beryl. So it's, I don't know. She definitely sounds like a granny from Englandshire. Beryl, have you put your kettle on yet, Beryl? That's the name Beryl. It's not been used in a while. Why am I here reviewing these people? Oh, listen to them. Let's see what they have to say.
And I think that's an amazing thing.
Same. Brilliant. Excellent. Agreed. What else does he have to say?
Excellent. And also...
Brilliant. Excellent. Absolutely. Agreed. 100%. What else?
Forteing into Star Atlas and kind of working closely with them as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about like why you guys kind of looked at Star Atlas and like what you guys are kind of planning around that as well? Things that you can release.
Yeah, of course. So we've actually just like built our investment team within YGG. We're actually holders of Polys and Atlas tokens. And the investment team also, if not mistaken, invested in a couple of NFT ships. So the idea here is to be able to actually lend out these NFT assets to players who aren't able to acquire these assets just because, they come from an economic background that, that makes it very difficult for them to afford these NFTs. And so YGG lends these assets out, and they're able to play with these assets and participate in like governance as well within like Star Atlas, as an example.
What? You can get leveraged out governance access. Whoa, fucking scary topic there. Do you think they really thought this one through? Interesting ideas, in a sense. I don't really know what she means about NFTs. I mean, presumably it's NFTs that aren't on their own platform, because then they could just, I suppose, price them so that they're affordable for everybody themselves. Right? Okay, I don't know. Lending out NFTs is a bit of another one, a bit of another odd one as well, because you want to own things, but then you get to play. Pardon me. So I guess there's the idea of like, I'll borrow your sword. I'm a player level 150, and I've got the sword of F your mum, and you're able to take sword of F your mum off to defeat the dragons or whatever for the afternoon, and then return it to them for the price of just 0.00017982 Ethereum or something, and then you give it back. It's great idea. Barrow, where's the cup of tea? Anyway, so that's the GME thing. It's kind of a bit of a damp squib, as they say, or a damp squid, as they actually say. Jeff Smith, Rocky, top 5 games. Are you a gamer? Not much of a gamer these days. It grew up as a bit of a kind of gamer, you could say, in a sense. But it was before gamers was really a thing, I mean, I guess it's just like everybody loved it, right? I mean, I remember playing with playing with Jamie when Resident Evil came out. Resident Evil, and playing that one, and getting it from a friend in school who was scared playing it, stuff like that. So in terms of like those sorts of games, we'll always love them. Grew up playing games with Jamie as well on like football games. We always played football games. That's soccer for you American chaps and chapettes. Always played them growing up together, and we didn't ever get the consoles because parents didn't buy them for us. And we so what we'd have to do is walk to the library to play them. Library was a couple of miles away, and that, but we'd do it, and we'd book in a slot. You'd have to book in a slot, like, oh, we want to play for 20 minutes at 4:20, and then you'd walk up there and leave the house at like, I don't know, 3 to walk on your tiny wee legs up to there and play them as kids. So we used to do together, and that. So always grew them and played them. So grew them. We always played them, and then So grew up playing games, and then when I got to the teenage years, loved a bit the old Pro Evo soccer and the Call of Duty, of course. Then suppose it was like the sort of thing that you'd play with friends, right? I really love split screen on the playing with friends, actually on location, having your friends in the same place and playing with them. Really loved games like that, and that just got totally stripped away with the advent of online games, little by little, Transport Fever, says Dual Max, will result in eventually getting to the point where it's like I like playing things like Transport Fever, and I always like that, and as well love Colonization, another one of Jamie and I's favourites as well. Squid Game, good game. Tadpole Game, the best game, we know that. Resident Evil VR is awesome. Not tried it yet. Should I get some VR thing? I wonder if that's a Black Friday purchase. Renegade Red Squirrel, would have been better for everyone if CD Projekt Red hadn't screwed up the Cyberpunk launch. Oh yeah, sure. That was one of the things that I'd been looking forward to playing for years, right? As you're probably all aware. And then it didn't happen, and it got to that point where it didn't happen, but also I was then no longer also going to be buying that. It's like I wouldn't be buying that console then. I wouldn't even have it. I don't even have a PlayStation 5. But I have a computer that's more than capable, better than a PlayStation 5 would be anyway. And when I do play games, sometimes what I like to do is that any sort of AAA, really, I don't know what format do you call that? Any of those sorts, any game that involves, I don't know, playing online with other people and that. I like to play with Jamie, playing Grand Theft Auto, doing kind of missions together and stuff like that, doing heists together. I like playing Grand Theft Auto 4, 5, whatever it is. We could maybe set up an online game where we could all do the heists together for a laugh or something like that with the people from the chat. Who knows? Anyway, no, not a massive gamer. Not really. So you should do a game night with Among Us. Yes! Do you want to do that? That's what I was going to do the last time, BMJ, man. I was going to, when I did my singular Twitch stream, which actually worked, the one where I was doing Transport Fever and The Escapists. I wanted to play, I thought maybe we should do Among Us. Wouldn't that be cool? Who's up for that? We could do Among Us sometime. Who knows? Jeff Smith says yes with exclamation marks. Are you up for that? Because we can do that. So let us know Is Among Us cross-platform? Actually, got no idea, Chris. Man, got no idea. I think it is. It requires you to have a headset and whatever though as well to be able to play it if you're playing it on your thingy, on your whatever. Mama Jam. Last night we were talking about playing Jackbox. I think it would work well. Aye, Jackbox would work well. Do you know who originally came up with that idea as well? Credit where it's due. Apple Blossom, as well. So never actually did it though. FU Money has done it with us. I played it with FU Money as part of the on the Discord. Mobile and cross-platform, I believe. What, even mobile on Among Us? Mental. Well, I guess it's that type of game. Multiplayer online role-playing games. Multiplayer online role-playing games. Aye. MMORPGs. So MORPGs. That's what Grand Theft Auto is. And if I ever want to play any sort of thing like that, then that's what I go for. It's a fun game like a Sherlock Holmes game. You have to find out who is the murderer. Basically, you run around in this broken down spaceship with a little kind of funny kind of 2D characters, kind of, little cartoony type drawings, and somebody is a murderer, and the person who is the murderer knows who it is, and they run around murdering folk, kind of denying it, and pretending to do odd jobs with people, and the other guys, they're trying to fix the spaceship that they're in. So it's like a challenge to stay alive, fix the spaceship, or whatever. We could do that. I could do that. Maybe that's the way to do collabs with people. Maybe that's how I do a collab with if I ever do a collab with the likes of the guys that appear on the Masked Investor show and all that sort of chat. Could be doing that sort of thing. That would be more interesting as a collab. Sounds like West Belfast, says Chris Sweeney. Aye, sounds like West Belfast. Sounds like West Belfast. What's going on over there? Aye. Oh, aye. So, it does, aye. No, don't turn into my students. Don't turn into my students, says Katie Babes. Warning for all of us. Schopenhauer's telescope. Look back in life. Do I want to turn into those students? Let's not. Let's not turn into those students. Right, okay, so let's do something that's got keywords related to topics that we like involved in it. Actually, Bad Mama Jama's kicking about in here. Let's just take a quick look at AHT because I'm interested how it ended the day. 1364. Bringing this down to a more visible time frame in a sense, going to the 15 minutes, seems to have finished the day off pretty decent, having gone sideways for the majority of it. Of course, there was that initial drop down that we saw kind of kicking around about here, pulled back up to 1364. What were we looking for on this thing? Like, really, we don't want to be breaking down below this kind of point. So this is the perfect time for it to turn around in that sense. Do we have a gap that was waiting, a flash that's waiting to be filled? Nah, not on that particular time frame. Anyway, other things. Why MMAT? How did that get on? Metamaterials. Okay, a nice little resurgence. A resurgence in its price after it started off the day. So frothy. Talking about coffee and froth. Gonna have to rectify this situation. Need some sort of substitute. Getting off the cafe, getting off it. Can't let it dominate my life, This is my way of fighting back against the coffee beans inside those biscuits that are otherwise trying to draw me in constantly. Filling up my nostrils. Melvin's looking real sus. Melvin! It's my friend Melvin! Not good, lol. Yeah, totally. Millie315. Nope. Who's Millie315? Millie315? Did GME appear at NFT coin? Well, let's go check it out. NFT coin. This guy down the bottom left. Super happy. Oh, little smile from bottom right from Barrow. Barrow, have you put the T on yet, Barrow? And then you've got the two Michaels at the top, dominating the top half of the screen. You've got two Michaels in here. Michael Wagner. Wagner, the very famous Hitler's favorite composer, Wagner. That's quite bad, wasn't it? Wagner, right? You know him. The flight of the Griffins, Falcons, flight of the Concords. No, is it? Nah. Flight of Wagner. Wagner. That's Wagner up there in the top right. Over there on the left, you've got Hun. Seems like a Dutch name. If only Z was here, he could tell us. Valkyrie. There we go. Thanks so much. Here we go. Something tells me Rocky could easily fill 2 hours of stream with conscious rambling. Could even probably do it in my sleep. Yeah, Elden Ring. Bring it. Oh, aye. Let's put the volume up, see what they're talking about. Come on. I hope the dude in the bottom left says something really insightful.
Intersection in the cups of an intersection with finance and decentralized finance itself. So
love these yuppies.
Since we actually distribute in-game rewards to actually our players, you could actually see in data that, like, for MetaMask account users, out of 10 million users, 20% of that is actually from the Philippines.
Okay, new game. I'm now allowed to eat the edges of my chocolate biscuit one little bite at a time. Every time she says the word actually. I've got a couple of them built up in reserve here. Let's go and see how many times she says actually in the next couple of minutes.
We're really, like a big population in the Philippines still don't have a bank account, and there's a hardly savings, especially during the pandemic when there's so much unemployed. People are able to find an alternative way to earn a living, boost their savings, and they're able to pay out their loans, and then they're able to cash out. And when they learn how to use a basic concept of a crypto wallet, they're able to actually learn how to use what other platforms like farming, how to yield interest. And this is where we're actually working with other on and off ramps and other financial services to be able to serve
had to be patient there.
Players who now have basic income from playing games.
I just want to mention too, quickly there.
Thought she'd get to the end of her bit and not let me eat a single bite of my biscuit there after that stellar start. Yeah, thanks. I don't know why Streamlabs has been such a fascist in there. She said it. Thanks, Froglord, for keeping an eye out for that one. Yeah, great. What were they talking about? I don't know. I was just listening out for her saying actually, and when she said especially, it threw me and it almost had a bite of my biscuit, and I thought that would be cheating. Thanks for that, Beryl. Love it. Beryl Lynch. Her surname's Lynch, by the way, if you're wondering. You want to look her up on Twitter. Beryl Lynch.
Some stable coin.
Just some stable coin. Right, great. So what was it you were talking about? Chewy, was it? What was it? Chewy. People looking for trend reversal in Chewy. How would you confirm? Also, what would you say about the 4-hour MACD green, red, green, lower, accumulation, distribution, flux? Right, okay. That's good. Actually. So, Chewy. Love those yuppies. We'll go back and see what the 21-year-olds have got to say next in a couple of minutes. Let me know if I miss out on anything super brilliant that they say. If you're looking in terms of trend reversal, right? I'm trying to identify first off what is the trend that you're talking about, right? So first off, you've got 2 different ways of looking at it. That short-term time frame one where you've got that downward trend that was happening, and then you've got the 24-hour time frame where you've got this overall upward trend, you could say. Up until this year, though, when Lord Ryan became more interested in GME, are we in this kind of general thing, and are you looking then and asking, are we looking for a trend reversal here? First off, let's address whether or not we're going to have a trend reversal here. Right, I guess, okay, and things that you would confirm, because it's a case of doing the Western approach to teaching, which I don't like. One of these things ain't like the other, that type of thing, but why not just do it through a mode of kind of general contrast? I mean, at this point here, between the lows and its highs and the logarithmic chart here, you can see that we are just a wee stretch away from coming down a little bit lower. Now, you can see that it's handily enough lines up with that area where the 618 golden pocket is at the area of that lower end of that imaginary channel that we started out with, asking questions about where we could be coming into. Now, it handily as well lines up with this last little area where we saw a kind of little moment of inflection, giving us something to look to on L charts, and just kind of wondering at what point at which you would start to say that from a very longer term perspective that this here upward trend is done and dusted. At what point would you say it's done? So, in many senses, then how would you look for the reversal and all that sort of stuff? Where would you have looked for the reversal as well? Well, the clearest area to have looked for the reversal at here, first off, just is going to be at the high, at the peak, right? When you're coming in for the peak, and just bringing up the oscillators down below, it's almost guaranteed, and I should have said it before bringing it up, but it's almost guaranteed that you had a big rise up, which is this one just here, followed by a higher low, followed by a rise up, at which point you've got bearish divergence, followed by another little dip, and then a third rise up here, at which point you've got bearish divergence again, ding ding ding, and that's visible here, 1 2 3 here on the top side. So you've got this sort of kind of nice big classic look to things. This is not the only place where you'll see something like this happen. Now, of course, you've got various examples across time of these sorts of things happening that you can point to. I mean, an easy example just off the last sort of couple of years of crypto trading, sort of as an example or whatever, if you want to look for these types of things as a where is one that might not otherwise become like immediately obvious to you, is over here, where you can see that we've got this rise in August 2020, which was associated with this beautiful bearish divergence. Of course, we saw a drop down, and the question on people's lips at this time was like, yet again, how are we going to know if we're in a reversal or not? And in many ways, right, the question you're asking there, which was so subtly just put in as if it was a nice, easy kind of throwaway question, without actually identifying which particular trend and what particular way that you're looking at things, you've left me having to address this from the point of view of, hey, trading is about always looking for trend reversals in a sense. Just looking over here, you can see Rocky plus NFTs equals Moon. Navin Ethan, man, it's so good to see you as ever. One of my Niner friends in the world, Sixer friends, sorry, didn't mean to suggest that you were from frickin' San Francisco, Navin Ethan, man, didn't mean to do that. Right, yeah, so Toronto. So yeah, buddy, good to see you. How you doing, man? Oh, check it out, by the way, since you're here, man. All right. All right, so continuing on with that question then, you can see here at this point that there were some key market structural areas to look to. This is obviously a fairly heavy trend, and we never took out that lower area over there. Going on up to when we actually did get a nice big chunky reversal over here, and looking at those highs, you can see I've already marked in previous times examining this chart, that lovely bearish divergence there at that high. If you can't see the high because it's covered in drawings, there it is for you. That's that high. That happened in the crypto world very recently. You probably heard about it unless you're living under a rock. That was back there towards the start of the year when you're having that high. And then, of course, summertime when it dropped back down again. And over here, then right now you're looking at, and people would always be asking the same sort of thing. Are we going to see a bit of a reversal? People are asking, are we going to see one? And the story right now in terms of this particular chart right here, right now, is whether or not, this is going to be some sort of half-mast bull flag type effort where it kind of continues on up the way in a frothy market pushing up, and frothy would be really the order of the day, bearing in mind that your sort of true range on these sorts of candles that you're likely to experience is going to have big movements in it. Let me just bring this up and show you. You're going to get big movements where in terms of like you get markets operate like that, and then of course you got that volatility thereafter as you go up the way, this more frothiness, and then oh my goodness, big challenges up the way, down the way, all this sort of thing, all going to be associated with that happening to you, where you can have big movements, because you could have little periods of consolidation followed by breakouts, which are followed by retraces, etc. It makes it kind of a little bit more dynamic, the market, when you're looking at it, because it's much quicker moving in here. Anyway, that's kind of what would be happening right now in that frothy market. So you're asking, is Chewy going to reverse, right? And my question to you would be, from what point of view are you actually asking that question? So I'm not ready to say that it's actually in full reversal mode here. This is definitely a significant longer term retrace that you're experiencing on the charts. We could easily be aiming down towards this area. I think that'll probably help inform us a little bit as we dive down the time frames towards the 4 hour time frame and look at how we're coming in just here at this region. asking questions then, as we've already kind of discussed earlier on, are we experiencing some nice drives of a bullish divergence at these lows just here? Coming in at this most recent low was, of course, the sort of 1:30 p.m. on the 4th of October or so. Ever since then, we've seen this little bit of a movement where the lows have been coming in not anywhere near as low, stretching out the prices so you can see them themselves. I guess I'll stretch out the RSI so you can see that itself as well. We do have like a nice series of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, for example, over here with the bullish divergence as we're coming into this low. But is it quite enough yet? Just kind of checking in with a slightly broader time frame and saying, well, if you're going to make arguments as to divergences, etc., how exactly are you doing it when the 24-hour time frame is showing us that we came in for a low here at this most recent of lows? And we can see here with the most recent wick that pushed down just below that low that we came in with convergence over here. There's a degree of kind of the slight froth with this market here towards the downside, where people are coming in eagerly anticipating reversals at any given time, and there could easily be just that next little push on down the way. I would caution people at the minute to be diving into this thing with any degree of real gusto. Of course, if we did do nice movements here back up towards this gap fill, for example, then I'd be kind of cautious as well towards people to recommend that you really you look out for the potential for continuation here ultimately as well. There's a couple of because you'd only been reaching up towards the 50% area, and that's kind of maybe a wee bit more easily described by if I just ditch everything, am I losing anything? I don't think so. That would be more easily described by just taking out a parallel channel over here. Here's the parallel channel, just popping this in, bing, bong over there, and bing, bong, and coming up towards this 50% area and getting any sort of gap fill in here at this region would maybe, and I've just drawn that in very kind of, fast. The could be coming in and testing just at this gap. You'd have to be careful in terms of retracements up the way. Would be good to see. There's other ways that you could look at this as well. Here's your low, which would probably be the one that you'd be looking for. There's your high, and that would probably be where you're looking for. And here we can see that had a full sort of 886 retracement back up only as far as the 50%. Total mess as it stands with regards to any sort of hope for harmonics here on this type of thing. So like hoping for a reversal and kind of looking at the shape of the market and kind of saying, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? It doesn't work so easily for us. Like really, in terms of the massive like long-term viewpoint on this one, again, that doesn't work for us. Whereas if you were to take this B point over to where that D point eventually could arrive at here, and the B point came in at a 618 retracement, which is, where are we? Just a little bit beyond where we are now. It's not a surprise. We had it on the charts for ages. It's where those two green lines were, by the way, the 618. Down to, or thereabouts. Who am I to say that that's exactly where it is? Oh, lo and behold. And then down to you could be looking down to something like over here for your trend reversal. Now, what would that look like? That would look like, and then this would be a long-term harmonic that would actually make sense. This would be you coming in for your B point, bing, over here. This is your X point. This is then giving you this look here overall. And then sort of crap happening around about this zone here, blah, blah, blah. Wait a minute, that's wrong. That C point's wrong. Sorry, just give me a second here. Give me a second. Got that C point wrong. There, something like that. Whatever. Then I just had that wrong. I made it look like for a split second that I'd be going into if this was the harmonic here, in fact. Gosh. And it's not a Gartley that we're looking at, but indeed, BAT. Then you'd be looking down towards this region, staying generally speaking within this channel and continuing to struggle at any point to get past their highs. Really, that was kind of the point I was trying to build up to there with my screw up on the harmonic the first way around. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with regards to this, has it reversed or not? So I'm looking and really saying, well, you're kind of going to get a much better sense of whether or not this market has reversed at the time at which we fail to go on any higher. So that would be it. So down here, to put that into the context of the current turnaround potential for us, what am I doing educating people like this? Are you paying me for this? Wait, hold on a second. Did somebody pay me for this? No. Okay, so I'm doing this for the love of the people. Right, just suddenly caught myself I have to be a little bit more. I have to be careful with how I dispense my time, right? You know, we came in to tune into this thing, which is obviously a complete damp squib over here. Let's see how Michael's getting on. Come on, Michael, win.
All right, everybody, we're here with another fireside chat now, exploring all things NFT, and we can't deny the play to earn economy and how it's going to take over the next wave of use case for NFTs and beyond, even mass adoption as well.
God, right, cool. Yes, great. Oh, right. Oh, Minner, right. You paid me for it. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, cool. Let's stay away from that chat for a while. I'm sure it's great. So looking at this now, could we have a reversal? So, brilliant. The question then is on the smaller term time frame, and we're looking for a reversal here towards the top side. The reversal that we're looking for here towards the top side is it's going to be a question of, I'll pay you for it, says the Ghost. That's just a guy. Thanks so much. That chat isn't great. No, it's not the greatest, is it? It's not the greatest, but you can't undeny, just like the guy said, you can't undeny. I thought that was a new word. You learn something new every day, so you can't undeny it. And I like that. Thanks so much from him. Yeah, if you're just looking for this to be a reversal right here, right now, blah, 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 then for you to be more confident in it, stretching against to like going to get them to go up and to put in all-time highs again on the stock, if that's what you're looking to, then you are going to want to be taking out that middle zone, right? So first off, if you're looking for this as a reversal, like, let me be clear, right? If you're looking for this to be a reversal which can take out this high, and you're not patient enough to wait to hear, at the very least, to give it shots and be prudent enough along the way at these other zones for you to be aware of what's going on, then your appetite for reward is, I'm afraid, far bigger than your actual awareness of the risk that you're taking, right? So just to put that into context for you, sorry. So you are looking to come in here and see things like that gap get filled along the way before you're making those assessments. So this is the context without time, you know. It's the finding the context that makes sense. So it reduces us down to saying, well, how are we doing then even on an even lower time frame? So I think we've covered in most of the chat, and we're back over here towards the 15-minute time frame, and we can see on these lows that came in previously in this section just here that there was some bullish divergence, and since then we've managed to move up a wee bit. Now, are we seeing a recovery here in terms of this? Now, this is the, in effect, the move towards that gap. Okay, so we talked about that gap already, and of course the gap in the middle of the chart, but there's a gap at the top we haven't talked about that I was actually looking at when I said that. Excuse me, but this is a move towards, first off, that gap, but actually the big ass gap, and going up there towards that gap and filling it in does two things at once. It does like your move up here towards the gap, and obviously your move up towards the top of the channel, and then of course the golden pocket in there as well, giving you sort of three areas, three reasons for confluence with regards to this one meeting in the middle over there, all without actually taking out the prior high. So there's that, and right now, have we done enough to get a reversal here on this one? Sure. But people who are like actually looking at this with a degree of skepticism at all, or in that, are going to be saying, right, well, you know, we've done that, but we've done it in a way that also is arguably just consolidation. A couple of little things to be pointing out here. You know, obviously, we've got like this downward sloping aspect, right? That's there. I say obvious, might not have been obvious to everybody, but it's obvious now, right? That's obvious now. I think we can agree on that. We've got this obvious aspect about the kind of the shape of this thing, which is, I think, you know, fairly obviously consolidation shape of this thing in this area as well. We know the elasticity of this market hasn't been tested towards the upside, but certainly has been proven towards the downside so far. So market structure from a sort of architect of price point of view is extremely crucial. So yes, you've positioned yourself as such that you'd be able to challenge getting out for a move, but it would be a breakout move that you'd be going for there as a counter trend move. Being aware of the actual trend towards the down, I can't measure it that direction. Being aware of the trend towards the downside, you'd have to look out for that. And where does it take you to? And again, it's a quite simple point I've been making here about market structure. And until such times as you've done any of this, and this is the 15-minute time frame, all you're looking at is lows followed by lower lows, and all the way along followed by, and it doesn't matter where in the schema of the x-axis, this is the x-axis time, where these points really ultimately come in at if they're unable to break market structure. Now, if they don't get continuation towards the downside, having consolidated in here for a period of time, moving sideways, then we can then start to look to different movements up the way as having different types of conditions leading into them, which could lead to different responses afterwards. But ultimately, it's going to always come back to looking at the market structure as we do this, and that's just where we are. And this ties in with ideas of being able to even get to challenging the higher price points, right? So, I mean, what are you looking for beyond that? Simple things, right? Simple things. Okay, so you've got your chart here. Let's ditch all the drawings again, right? You've got your chart here. On your chart, you've got things like a qualifier for your moving averages here, right? So you've got your moving averages qualifier. It wouldn't be a Rocky Outcrop show if I didn't try to move the charts without at least once drawing on them by accident. So you've tuned into the right place. This is the authentic real guy over here making that mistake. It frustrates the hell out of me doing that, by the way. Anyway, you got your qualifier on there, the 200 simple, and what do we see here is that we're still below it. Another sign of whether or not you're, just a gauge of the trend. Now, a 15-minute time frame, I'm going to just assume from this direction onwards that you're talking about the trend reversal on the 15-minute time frame as we talk and I move towards the points here that I'm making is to summarize us. But as we're actually talking here, if you are wanting to talk about the trend, then you can see there's a death cross that happened over here on the daily time frame for Chewy back in May 2021. We were structurally unable to do anything more from that high, by the way, down to the low, than a 618 golden pocket retrace, a little bit, pushed up a bit, but that's all we did. Let me just to get this lined up properly. No, that's precisely what we did, exactly measured out perfectly. Moving down the way at this stage, and I don't want to talk about this really too much, these types of ideas. If you're going to be talking about harmonics in markets, you're looking towards a 5-0 pattern. Okay, so you got your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we get a fifth movement up here. Breaking this structure leads me to look towards a couple of different targets, right? So first off, I'm going to say, well, we'll be looking towards I'm sorry, I know that I'm mixing up the content here at the minute because I'm now talking about targets towards the top side, but I'm going to go back to talking about the point I was making on the lower term time frames with regards to the 200 simple and the way of kind of going with the trend, etc. But you'd be aiming up here towards the 1618, which would be $155, and that's where I would look to for the next high on this one, by the way. Bear in mind that I would also anticipate most likely at that stage to have another reversal and an actual decent correction again at that point as well. But however, that's more longer term analysis, and we're talking about as well where you could really aim to realistically in the meantime between these 2 points, and there'd be a better target for you if you're wanting to be realistic, and it'd be here at this now white line, ding, and where that white line happens to be at is $122.73. You can look over here, and that is a double top, so it makes a heck of a lot of sense that you see a good deal of inflection here as this would be coming up into what is all-time high territory. Now, in all-time high territory, you're always going to see almost always bearish divergences, etc. The markets just can't handle it, and you'll almost as well always likely enter into this area with some sorts of patterns along the way. Perhaps you would see a wedge there at the top that we would be breaking against the statistical norm for it in the face of bearish divergence to actually push up a little bit. Perhaps all these sorts of things, but nevertheless, I'm saying that I'd be aiming towards that zone if we were to be able to do it. But this is already done. You could say that there's a trend reversal on this chart back over here, and so many things would lead you towards saying that, not least of which, of course, just the 200 simple moving average there earlier on than that one. But we're getting the and we don't actually have, as well as it happens here on this time frame, the bullish divergence that you'd be looking for with this low either. It's just not there. It's pretty scary in that respect, right? So you're starting to build up the picture here with this one and how really you got to manage it. If you are looking for breakouts and movements, you're going to be taking profits along with the rest of the very much aware, risk averse market at the whenever you're operating under these conditions. Jumping back down to that 50-minute time frame though, however, if you were looking for a trend reversal and you're talking about the MACD here, you can see that you're underneath the 200 simple, so you wouldn't be wanting to take that trade if you did see a cross on the two lines, bringing this up then and changing the options for us. Before we do so, actually stretching this out and showing you very, 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 very clearly that there is bullish divergence quite along the way here during this downward trend. Been loads of it. Notably, we're actually seeing it getting tighter now towards this end here, so we know that we're coming towards breakout area. We also identified on the chart already that there is, of course, a wedge, and I explained that already. And one of the old school rock outcrop tips that have been thrown out there for a very long time on the channel is that you would obviously confirm wedges with bullish divergence on the MACD. So we have that at the very end here. So you are looking, as well as I bring up the MACD and signal line for a cross, that would give you a tradable event. But let's just zoom in on in here and get a closer handle on where this has actually happened at. And it happened right here. And I can show you then in terms of bringing up the vertical line here and dropping this onto the chart, and then bringing up the actual charts itself, then where this happened at, stretching this out the way, you can see that we had that cross that came in here as we put in our first little bit of a potential for a higher low to go on up the way. So far as a lower high drops down to here, this is false support, and you'd obviously then anticipate at least the challenge for an Adam and Eve double bottom or something like that at this point, or some sort of higher low for an actual higher low to be coming in here, given that we didn't follow that up with another higher high. Or else we break above the 200 simple and start to change things around, at which point you could maybe then look for the next reversal. It's the same as Ichimoku Cloud at this point, the reasoning behind it in terms of how you would trade your way from that point on, because what's happened is the prices have moved up, then they would come back down for a reversal at some point, a correction of some point. How do prices move? Well, they move in waves and ups and downs and oscillations like that, my friends. You've seen it on the charts a billion times. What you'd have over here would be price action operating above two moving averages, which would cross and then be reconfirmed there afterwards, at which point you would have price action operating above the 200 simple, and then you would get the signal that would give you the move that could go to trade with that, then therefore that trend that could be going up. And that would be how you would execute off the back of technical analysis, which said that you're coming in for a potential turnaround. Now, there is the potential for this to happen. We're looking at it if we do get one to go up towards filling in this smaller gap here before potentially turning on to go down the way. Why? Because of the structure that we have overall. If we had a dramatic anything can happen at any time in the market's move, then we know that there's going to be a hell of a ton of profit taking coming in at this region here, halfway towards the ultimate profit taking targets, up and towards 150, 160, if we do get continuation of the macro long-term trend. However, we stop believing in the continuation of the macro short-term trend, long-term trend, at the point at which we've spent so long underneath the 24-hour death cross here towards the downside, and we didn't find a turnaround at this area of the 618, which is a little bit beyond where we are just now, as we had the analysis earlier on. And that is how you would look for a reversal, which is going to bring you the big bucks, and how you would manage it along the way. You identify that in advance, and then of course, you know, you're able to be wrong and be happy about it. Besides, it wouldn't even be you being wrong, it'd be me over here being wrong. But that would be one of them things. Notable exceptions from this little bit of TA that we've done here would of course be any sort of analysis with regards to the average true range. Another noticeable exception from this technical analysis that we've done right here would be any sort of talk about the volume. Covering off those two very quickly, you're looking for increases here. You get different types of volume. Starting volume, not a surprise to see that this particular starting volume started when the bloody company started. You've also got different aspects of trends, like you've got stopping volume that came in here that corresponds with the high in the market. You've also got stopping volume type of thing that came in that I'm just pointing at here at where we are in the recent past, at where we were in the recent past. Actually at this high, stopping the reversal at that 618. Stopping volume, starting volume. It doesn't really matter what you call it. That could be starting volume of the downward trend, or it could be stopping volume of the upward trend. It doesn't matter. It's two sides of the same coin. Ricey, please, says somebody. Well, we could take a look at that in a wee minute, maybe, perhaps. No promises. No offense or anything, but no promises. For $4.99, you're not getting this anyway. I mean, that's for sure. I'll be tuning out. This is an indulgence because I want to be nice to the people. Being nice to people. But anyway, you're looking for these volumes, okay? These big volume things. And is there one? Well, there isn't one right now, okay? There isn't one. There hasn't been one. So that's another big notable exception. Another big notable exception, as we can see here. If I drop in another vertical line here, you know, where did we see this happen at on the DMI or the average true range? After we'd reversed just in here when we got the big volume to carry us through, give us that follow through to the downside. So another big things that you can talk about. Other notable exceptions, of course, we've talked about RSI to some degree, but you're obviously, there's things that we didn't talk about in terms of oversold, overboughts and all that sort of stuff, but I've done such extensive information about that recently on my channel. I think that that's besides the point. Another thing that's a massive exception from this in terms of talking about reversals would be a decent time frame size cross on the DMI. Love this. Tell you what, you love my beanie. Thanks so much, early supporter, the man himself. The reason I put this on earlier on after I said I'm putting it on is because Navanethan made, designed, and sold this beanie. It sells this beanie to people. What am I saying? I don't know. He laughed earlier on. I hope that was explained in the chat, by the way, at the time. Love the beanie, love the guy, love the friend. By the way, for people who don't know, that's Nyrun. He is, of course, one of the Alex Murphys on the Discord. Doesn't chat there very often. He runs his own one and everything else. Super great guy. And yeah, he loves NFTs. He knows all about NFTs, and he's a part of there. He's part of the community as much as anybody else, man. It's good to see you, pal. Right. Anyway, so yeah, there we have that thing that happened over there as that happened. So big reversals over here. Now we're seeing big reversals coming in. At the same time, we're not necessarily seeing crosses on the DMI. Are we? No, we're not necessarily. Instead, we're seeing it going up to big peak areas for that reversal itself in terms of when the actual peak of the market came in. Big peaks. Now, peaks of the markets, etc. In this instance, just was a kind of a correction, which as opposed to a massive trend reversal or any of that. But big peaks in markets, seeing the change in conditions, peaks in here. And what we're seeing is it's coming up towards key areas, such as this sort of 40, 50, 60s, all these areas on the DMI that I've got laid out in the background there. Now, we did have one of those recently, but we've seen the markets have continued towards the downside. They've not been associated with the bullish divergence on the RSI. You'd hope to see it does have some on the MACD, although it is, of course, at the minute, it is possible for this to come on down the way and put in another dose of bearish divergence. Oh my geez, thanks so much, Chris Sweeney. That's a really remarkable donation. Over here then, what you're looking for is to have that movement around the way. But how would you know that you've got the reversal? Now, the reversal is the key question because, of course, movements up the way are associated with pullbacks, and when they look like this, they're simply corrections, whereas movements up the way associated with pullbacks that look like this, they're called reversals. And the question indeed was, how do you know that you're coming in for a reversal? And I think to finish off this little section just here, it might be worth pointing out that there was a cross here. Now, we did have a peak here on the DMI at the peak of the price action, but then when it moved down the way, we had a cross over there. You got a cross in here, got a cross in here. It was followed with more movements up the way. Structurally, you're looking at this point where we would have dived off. I know that we're covered in drawings. In fact, I'll just ditch them all. Structurally, here you'll be looking at that point. Here you've got undoubtedly an 886 Fibonacci retracement. I've got an infographic recently I put on the Discord for a diving man on the board talking about V-shaped recoveries, and in a sense here, while this doesn't look like one on the 4-hour time frame, if I were to jump up to the 12-hour time frame or 24-hour time frame and put the charts together, it would get much more of a V-type look to it. And the main point about it really is that if you're looking at things that have had this nice resurgence there, and then you measure from the highs to the lows, then you can see over here that at the diving board point and then down to where we actually arrived at, that we came up towards the 886 bang on here before actually then, of course, then actually reversing. But we came up and we found inflection at that point there. That was where those highs were. You could have easily have seen this thing pull on down the way. What we've seen at other times when we've had that highs, big reversals on the positive. We did get a movement down the way, and then there was this kind of little kind of test of it. It wasn't actually across in the negative direction. It could have been, had it been, it would have been going down. It was instead towards the positive direction ultimately, and the prices went on up, giving you some percentage for trading. So there's plenty of other things to be talked about. If we were to see a movement up the way, you'd be looking at crosses again of moving averages on different time frames, crosses on the DMI, and there's just so much. It's notable exception after notable exception, and I'm only talking about the tools which I use on a daily basis here. There are plenty of others, and I'm not even going to go into the guts and glories of things like the Elliott wave, etc. I think that would be actually be a regression from where I am now. I've already even mentioned things like 5-0 patterns with harmonics, which of course are far more technically advanced. Chris Sweeney, just a second here because I want to honor this for a second. Oh. Where's my thing? There it is. Thank you, man. It's really appreciated. That's really awesome of you, Chris. Really awesome. Really awesome. Really, thank you so much. Okay. Wrong camera? Right camera? Yeah, right camera. Thanks, man. QQ for Cardano. I see a bearish pennant, and on 1 inch, I see a bullish tenant on the 1 day. Right, pennant. However, the harmonic auto detect indicator shows both going sub $2 on 1 day time frame. I'm so confused. Cardano, your Cardano 1 inch $2, both of them auto detect indicator on 1 day time frame. Oh, sorry, wrong screen. that's how I do my charting. Sorry, just a sec. Pop. Oh my goodness, hello, it's me. I never ran my intros today. I'll run them at the end. Right, sweet. I have 3 different flavors on this hat. I wear this one from time to time if I'm doing YouTube videos because it's orange and it's really obvious. There's a different style for you. Right, Cardano on the daily time frame. Okay, sound. Here we have it. My chart's a bit messy. Let me just give you a second here. We'll just choose a different exchange to look at this on, because one of the glorious things about these is that they do tend to follow the same lines. KuCoin's liquid enough. That's pretty decent. So we'll look at it here, and don't have any drawings on. So daily time frame, jumping up towards that. You are talking about a harmonic in here. Where would it be? Oh, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's already done. That's a Gartley. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. Right, hold on a second. Right. One, two. This actually didn't work again. Did this wrong. You can see here in terms of that breaking it. In terms of like, just the it didn't work. It didn't work on the daily time frame, that one. But we've done that in terms of this breaking it and ignoring it. We've done that. Wonder where it was drawn in from. Instead, let's take it from where it is conceivable, as in down here to up here to this next low. That's an 8. So we're pushing on a bit more anyway. Anywhere down here would be the sort of sub $2 area. Any of these targets, harmonics, could bring us to that zone. I mean, that's fair. That's fair indeed. It's fair indeed. It's fair indeed. That's an 8-8. I mean, the same thing here. I mean, the danger of using in a market which is doing what? This. In a market that's doing this, I mean, let's not pretend that we don't see what's happening there, right? As we do this analysis, that when you're getting movements where between this point, and this point, you're seeing 886 Fibonacci's coming in again and again, right? Then X to B to C to so to B to C, as you have the same thing right here. Why? And then what is this? Well, this is an equilateral triangle, bud. And it has a statistical sort of thing in terms of where this go of kind of more or less 50-50. Right, so my assumption would be that this is how this is working, right? That's where it's working from. Instead, let's do things slightly differently and take a look and say, well, this isn't a very deep retracement, is it? In terms of if this were to be an X point and that were to be an A, this would be a B. It's 50% though, actually. Oh, it's because of the logarithmic chart. It's because I've not got it in linear. Just pop it on a linear, then you can see a bit clearer, perhaps. I don't really know. Yeah, it would yeah, it's much clearer, the 50% retrace there on linear. Fuck it, I'll leave it. So excuse my language. Leaving linear. So then you've got up here down to here, in which case, ultimately what this would be a 50% movement in this direction would be us coming in for this harmonic. A 50% where the turn is simple is, what's that? That's a Gartley pattern. A Gartley pattern. Right now, I don't want to break down the walls like the lye powder on the corpse of a formerly fantastic, amazing idea, right? Because I'm not doing that. I'm showing you the inherent conflict of using these types of methodologies of predicting market movements whenever you can quite clearly see that you're in within the range of the overall kind of range of the market currently, and that you've come back recently for a 50% retracement, and then looking at this and measuring it out kind of with a degree of kind of your head screwed on, and coming down from the high down to the ultimate low that we put in, looking here and seeing that currently the prices are at the 236. In fact, I'll do you the honor, the respect of just kind of taking this back and saying, so often, why is my analysis the way my analysis is? And I hope you do understand at this point here then the significance then of when I say that it's important to see us moving above the 236, and that we could easily go up towards this target, but if we see us maintaining it here then after, how important that is, and if we go on up we're afters. And I hope that you see that while I'm totally and absolutely capable of diving in at the very deepest end of any degree of analysis with regards to all that sort of stuff, that sometimes there is the case to be made for sort of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, and just look at the little areas that we have right here. We could easily do those things, Chris. I'm not saying that we couldn't. I'm just saying that I believe in you, mate. I believe in you, and you might not believe in yourself. And when you're using an indicator like that, and you're being critical of the analysis, it can leave you in a dead end spot where you don't know the way forward to see the light forward. And I want to just remind you, believe in yourself, mate. I believe in you. Simplify it out again once you've got to the point of inherent conflict across, disparate. Well, it's the same concept, but disparate time entry points in terms of that vector that you're taking to analyze the markets. You're saying, well, I'm using this methodology, but it's inherently conflicting where you are. Where do I put my faith whenever I've got so much conflict on the actual base material that I'm working with? I mean, ultimately, I would say, with the greatest respect, to put your faith back in yourself. There isn't any sort of higher power that you need to look to in this instance, and just to remember in terms of simplicity and risk management where you are. Where are you in this zone? Well, currently you're right below the 236, and that if you were to be looking carefully at the management of things, then you would be managing your trades with respect to the $2 cutoff point because of the market structure that's there. Regardless, if you're thinking to yourself that you want to get in on this one, then you need to realize that movements away from there will express a movement down the way. It's easily identified with simple rationale, which you can bring back on into play again by simply looking at the average true range. I've been bringing this up recently. You can see here in terms of this thing that the average true range on it has got a solid, at the minute, 15-cent in there. The current price $2.17. There's a 15-cent true range on this thing. So I mean, you've almost got a 50-50 chance right here from here if you're just going to base your analysis on current price versus true range over a given time period. 50-50, it goes to $2.02 even in and of itself, pal. So that's where you are with it, right? You're doing all right. I'm sure I'm sure you do believe in yourself, and you don't need me and I had to tell you that. I was telling you that as much for your own benefit, or less even, to be honest, than it is for the benefit of everybody else watching along who's in this situation, who's arriving at that point feeling a little bit confused with the sort of conflicts I'd laid out and thinking, well, what's the way forward? And the way forward is to believe in yourself and to kind of simplify, remember things, simple products that you've got here which you can rely on, such as the true range, which just simply looks at the range of movements over the last wee while, and understanding the inherent risk then, and your job as a trader. Yes, this is called ADA. Yes, the analysis that we're doing is on Cardano with the ticker ADA. But what you're actually buying and selling at any given time is risk. Okay, so you're buying and selling risk, and we can make a simple, straight off the bat assessment of the risk here over a period of 24 hours with regards to this asset by just simply looking here and saying, well, there's the risk that you're buying. That's it. Keep it simple. Apple Blossom just dropping in a wee chat there. I'll just go back over and make sure that Chris is satisfied with that. Okay, don't make it. I'm not going to make it not going to, just not. You don't need to be, pal. I mean, if you've got other questions and you're looking and you're saying, well, how can we combine this with with your chat that you had about reversals, etc. earlier on? How can we combine this together and come to some other resolution with where we are right now during this consolidation phase? If you want to go down that road, we can. I would just want to make sure that you feel like you got your values worth out of that one, for sure. I think that is there. I think that it's there. I think that the value's there for everybody. I think that is that again, that chunk in itself could be, the video itself will never garner $100 worth of revenue from YouTube. It'll only ever make like $10 in its lifetime. But I could put that out there, and I would say that it's worth way more than $100 to some people. So just let me know what you feel. And all that, right? Sound. No, it works. Only just highlights. Wait, where am I looking here? Let me just go bring up OBS. See, that's the right screen. I'm on the right chart. I didn't miss out on any analysis, any things like. I've actually got a hot head. Actually, sorry. Right. So we're not missing out on that. Back to chat. Thanks, Chris, again. Okay, so what else have we got in here? Cheers, pal. Can I start from scratch in your Discord, says Bandal. Yeah, mate, no problem. The Discord is there for everybody. It's really inclusive. People are very friendly. In any society that you go into, even if it was just completely surrounded by other people who are also entirely starting from scratch, you're always starting from scratch. Because it's because that's the way it is in any society. You obviously have to make friends and everything else, but to do it in this particular society is far easier because people are so nice. To start from scratch is far more accessible because people are so helpful, and you're not alone because there's plenty of other people there who've been there for a long time who still are starting from scratch because not everybody can engage in the markets all time, and people want to be a part in the right place to be there at the right time for them, which can be any time. So yeah, man, you can totally do that. You can totally do that. Start from scratch. People are here. If I'm starting TA from scratch, where should I start, Mr. Rocky? That was your original question. And I would say to everybody watching that if you haven't read the book already, to read the book called Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. It's not just me that recommends this. This is recommended by people all over the world. I mean, pretty sure everybody who is considered to be like the Bible. Now, this is not a Bible in terms of having rules in it. It doesn't have your man came down from Mount Sinai with a bunch of rules about technical analysis written in there. Now, what it's like in terms of that people that that technical analysis is kind of in so many ways like a belief system. I prove it on a daily basis. I don't think it involves belief. It's actually a scientific basis system, and I prove it. But for so many people, it's kind of seems like faith based because it's like, how can you do this? How does it work? That's totally impossible. Black magic. Do. And in that sense, so many of the concepts that prove these things to you, that dissolve the need for faith and instead replace that with resilience and skills, are explored in a beautiful way. And I would say that's a great one. Makes it very accessible. It's an enjoyable book to read. Other places to start would be, in terms of just trading, would be paper trading. In terms of discussing and that, you're in the right place. You find a community, and all that stuff. I mean, these are the things that you do. Okay, and yes. So you're following up questions. Right, so Like Raid, where's that coming in from? Undead Doomslayer? Must be Jamie. Woo, Like Raid. Let's do a Like Raid back the way. Let's do a Like Raid back the way afterwards. We did a Like Raid earlier. We can do a Like Raid back. How many people we got watching, in fact? Just double check. 71. Well, we had 69 viewers earlier on. We maybe not do the Like Raid back. Because we already did it, I reckon. And maybe we could do it again. I don't know. Chris, please refrain from spamming. How did you spam there, Chris? I don't believe that. That's bullshit. Rocky Outcrop, we're here to like your stream and you can't stop us. Oh, thanks, Chris, man. Thanks, man. What did you say, Hotify? Oh, some thumbs up. Thanks so much, man. Sorry, or lady, or whatever. Raid! Yeah! Nice one. Thanks so much, everybody. It would be really appreciated if you could leave this open in another tab, though, or whatever, so you don't destroy my watch time. Likewise, for everybody does it back the way I'm sure you do. All right. Rock, 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 rock. Jaguar. Lamau, Rocky, when you do TA, I see when you get this sparkle in your eye. When the analysis becomes interesting and you put the pedal down. That's inspiring for me and how you expand the story from price action. Thanks, man. Thank you very much, Chris. You got your cookies and loved them. Yeah. Oh, KT, you're here. Oh, KT, by the way, we were chatting about this. Loved them earlier on. Explain to people, by the way, if you do get a time, the story behind these in there. I was eating them earlier on. You can see it in the stream. It was really, I really enjoyed it. Hi, Sal. Good to see you. Were you here? Have you been here the whole time? I think you have, right? No? I don't know. I think that was, right? I didn't know this was a real stream. Oh, no, you haven't been here the entire time. Oh, right. Oh, you missed out, Sal. Hard Lines. Wait, what? Oh, well, Hard Lines. You'll never see it. It's not going to be available ever again. No, it's true. It'll be available on YouTube. But you're all right. You're all right. You can watch it whenever. But yeah, no, you missed out because it was fucking good. It was fucking really good. I've tried to send a super chat twice and it won't let me. Sorry, Apple. Don't know what that's about. It's not me. That's stopping you. Surely YouTube is. Is anybody else having problems with that? In fact, by the way. I mean, obviously, Chris Sweeney didn't before. I mean, I don't know. Is anybody else having problems with that? Let me know. Rock Outcrop, first time tuning in. I hope you're having a good day. My question is, what do you see for GME in the short term, and are you following along with the current futures theory? Not massively following along with the current futures theory, to be honest with you. I tend not to allow many other things into my thinking other than things that have really, really demand attention, such as Tristan and Esther over here. Let's see what they've got to say.
Then they wind up telling their friends, their fellow sports fans. So word of mouth really helped drive the success.
That was bad. Right, sorry, excuse me. Right, we'll get them off the screen again. Right, so buddy, what's my current feelings in the short term of GME? I have explained this so often. But here's my feelings in the short term in GME, just so you can understand. There's a dude over here. This is the zeitgeist of us that you're not fully aware of, most likely. Thanks for joining us on your first time watching the show. Actually, what's going on over here, which you maybe are not aware of, is that there's a dude here with a fishing rod in his hands, my friend. That's right, a fishing rod in his hands. And on that fishing rod, there is a fishing line. And on that fishing line, it goes down here. And what happens is fishies come in and they say, "Ooh, look at this. Ooh, look at this. Ooh. Hello. And now these fishies are short fishies. And what happens is that in the markets, whenever you've got people who went short here to add to the short position they had here, when they watched their other companies around them go and bust in at these different levels and just kind of just went with it anyway, even though they were about to go bust, they just added more to their shorts because they don't cover. They just don't do that. They can have an ability to do infinite, oops, wrong screen, have ability to do infinite shorts. They got that ability to do that, yet for some reason wait, Jamie's here. Wow, that's quality. Is your stream still? Your stream must still be going. We'll go and check it out in a minute. But when you've got stuff like this happening here in a chart and they just add to it instead of actually covering and and relinquishing their positions, as we can then see the markets then shocked right back down again straight away. And that was yet more and more of that pressure. And then afterwards, the trend continues to go towards the top side. Then what you need actually is to have good reasons for it to go short. You need to have good reasons for the prices to go down. This is what happens then. Everybody gets really stressed because they go beneath this pretty little line here. There's a little line being good reasons to go down. The little line here which actually shows the level at which above that there's the rationale to add more and add more and add more to their short positions doesn't exist, yet it goes below a certain area. Then suddenly you start catching the fish. Then you got the current zeitgeist of where we are, my friend, because actually what you're looking for is this thing to be so phenomenal that you actually have that happen. So that's where you are. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because, like you say, first time viewer, you've not been aware of how this is the best show on YouTube, right? You've not been aware of that yet. Hello, welcome to the best show on YouTube. And this little story here is one that I told months and months and months ago. And when you come in here and you find that everybody's so zen all around you, and at the same time able to do TA and all the rest of it, and learning and doing really, 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 really well, and self-empowering themselves, you know, gaining resilience, getting self-sufficient, growing, becoming stronger and stronger and stronger every day, then maybe you understand why. It's because we've had these stories built out for a long time. People don't understand what's going on in the markets and actually develop skills in an environment that allows that to happen without the fear and anxiety that actually ruins learning experience if you're actually out there operating on your own. And I remove that from you, making it actually possible for you to learn. That's what's going on over here. As to answering questions about current future theories and all the rest of it, I do not give two shits. I do TA. That's a real thing. Do explain to me what the current futures theory is, though. I mean, yes, okay, there's aspects of things with rollovers and all the rest of it, but you're gonna, but you know, the biggest thing about it is that's interesting is stuff like, you know, the FTD cycles thing, putting extra pressure on, and these sorts of things that we can talk about. But do I really give a shit? Do I really, whenever I'm able to call all of the price action moving around perfectly without any shits needing to be given that exists outside of my own little bubble? No. I mean, it does obviously prevent me from growing the channel exponentially through like bringing in extra people by interacting outside of my own little world. But I literally watch nobody else on YouTube do anything else. I literally read zero news. I don't need to. It just isn't part of my way of thinking. I do read some news, but it's the news that's just important, you know, which I'm not going to waste everybody's time explaining here. Actually, that's enough talking about that. In fact, that's enough talking in fact to anybody. Do subscribe, come back for more. It's really nice to see people who are new here. I completely forgot to change it so it's subscribers only that got to talk in the channel. If you're interested in subscribing, I would encourage you to do so. But fuck it. All right, Jamie, you're here. Are you not streaming live? Let me just bring this up here. Play. Go over to the end. See if you're still live.
Sorry, NFT Con.
Oh, you are
what it
live.
was.
Hi, guys.
Mind
Hi,
you.
everybody. Parallel
Good to see you,
worlds.
it's like, shit.
Parallel worlds. Oh, shit. No, wait, you did go. Oh, it's over. Oh, watch now. Start streaming. Wait, is this over or not? Jeepers. Right, anyway. Just leave that just for now. Right. Howdy. Oh, aye, these guys. NBA Top Shop. Love these guys. Nav and Ethan, shout out to you.
We love, and this.
Oh, screw it. You know what? That's just painful. Right, so that's how that's going, right? We'll also be ending the show here soon, I reckon, eh? I'm actually Tradespawn. I can't believe you said that, Sarah. Hey. So, Jamie, you're an audience member in the evening time. This is unusual. 11 p.m. And that this is crazy. This is crazy. Let's get back to chatting. I could talk more upbeat. Let's get back to chatting. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Need to be more upbeat all the time. Yes, excellent. Injected some positivity. Posture check, water check, all that good checking. Check it out. Check it out. There we go. There you go. That's it. By the way, just so you know, people who are new subscribers here get as much attention as people who like Chris Sweeney, who dropped in $100 earlier on and deserved the attention. Loads over there. That's right. So when you're talking in Bavash, or no, it wasn't Bavash, it was somebody else. Sorry, Bavash has been around for ages. Somebody else asking there earlier about can you start from scratch? Well, I think I just proved that. I just proved that to everybody. Here's Jamie chatting. I'm indeed. This is unusual. I like it. That's Jamie's great profile picture over there. It's fantastic. Jamie Curran, this is good. Now I don't know. Wild people laughing here. Lots of laughing. Laughter is good. No. Leroy Brown. TA keeps your head free of FUD and greed. Who's Leroy Brown? Scrolling back up. Sorry, just a second. Leroy Brown. Where's Leroy Brown? Where is Leroy Brown? Leroy Brown. Idrisel. How would I have known of Rocky if not for Jamie? Interesting. Leroy Brown. You guys shouldn't head to head. If anything, some kind of dual stream. Sure. Everybody's a YouTube advisor and expert. Everybody. Much appreciated. Be sure to give me full detailed thoughts on that one. We weren't head to heading. What actually was happening is that there was apparently, you know, some sort of thing here. Decided to do it for fun. Jamie did TA on things. I did TA on things. We like rated each other's stream. It's a good laugh. We've got a good community. Everybody loves each other here. It's all good. There isn't any sort of head to head type thing. That's just the way it is. There just isn't. So it doesn't really matter. Rocky Outcrop, fix ticker bingo for tomorrow, lol. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, Ronaldo sent me a wee sort of little kind of tune thing that I could use as well. We'll be fixing that for tomorrow. To fix it, by the way, all I need to do is open up Lumia Stream. Lumia Stream. Go on to the appropriate thing. And where is she? Where is she? No thanks, maybe later. My dashboard. No thanks, maybe later. Alerts. Thingy. Test. Ooh! One. Ticker bingo. One. Fantastic. So, what that would actually be if we were doing this for realsies right now, which we're not, would be AVAX. And oh, look at that, at that 50 simple period moving average on the 24-hour time frame. I wonder what I said about this last time when we actually did do the analysis. I always wonder. I can never remember. I always hope it's good. I go back and check my videos frequently, and I never find mistakes. A couple of times I do make mistakes. I tend to own up to them when it happens. So we went down. We tested 382. One of the things to note about this is if you do see a cross, right? Because we talked about this earlier on in the stream. Talked about how you get these major peaks in here, and then of course you can get these crosses. What you want to be wanting to see is that the ADX line can stay above 25 when you actually get the cross to confirm that you've got that movement. Now, of course, that's so often not going to happen when you get these kind of extended downward negative malaises. That's been happening on this one since 22nd of September. Kind of, it's not like massive long term, but you know what I mean. And then of course, you know, it's pushed down to 20, but it's not gone into chop territory. I want to see how the prices perform here, and if they actually do get a bounce up the way, then that'll get reversed very quickly. But if they actually do continue down, they break past this 382. I honestly don't think the 50% is going to be enough to stop us. We'll be looking down to that 618, and actually maybe even for down towards this 200 simple, which would be shocking. It'd be a 60% decline in price, representing since the top of the market here. Then obviously overall, and this is a fairly broad term, 70% decline, so that'd be like shocking. So we don't want to see that happen. Of course we don't. So we're looking for this to bounce here very, very soon. We do have that negative cross that happened on the ADX, but there you have it. You know, like that's what you're going to see. It's not above 25 on the thingy. It's not pushed on as it stands quite yet. We have got a 4-hour death cross. By the way, 24-hour time frame, there was a golden cross over here, and we're so far away from that 200 simple, and that's where that $5 comes in at. Would be a test of that, just so you know. Actually, wait a minute, fuck it, we're not actually doing ticker bingo. Just made me feel bad about it for a second. Plenty more could be talked about that one. I was actually going to get around to talking about the positive stuff just here and there. Screw that though. Obviously drew that in slightly wrong. No, I didn't. Sorry, it's perfect. What am I talking about? Yeah. Couple of big things that I would talk about here if we were talking about this, but we isn't. So anyway, that was nice. What's going on over here? Brain drain stuff. We are in cyber warfare right now, and no, it's not the Russians or the Chinese. Pew pew pew. Wish Rocky had the old dude grimace emoji too. Ah, yeah. Kek, that's the Dutch word for poop. Isn't it? Who are we fighting? I want to fight him. Sundial, says Simon Finger. Simon Finger, he's the man with the Simon touch. SNDL. This is like Jamie's silent TA section, except it's blind TA section, and it's not silent, but also you totally don't get to know what I'm looking at TA section. So for my own purposes only, because I actually do enjoy having a trade on this thing from time to time, I'll do my own TA just here real quick, and I will not tell you what I'm thinking. Good idea though, thanks for the suggestion. Simon Finger, he's the man with the Simon Finger. Simon Finger Man. Ooh, ooh. Where's that line drawn in from? Rocky. Good job you're not doing this on screen or people might think you're an idiot. Really want that to be perfect on the pixel. Well, no point, I suppose. Then, yeah, there, right, okay. Oh, that would be so good, but we're a wee bits away from having that. What about down here in this thing? Oh, yeah, we had this here. Did it hit that? Asked then. What was that from? That was from over here. Over here. Where was that from? Where was that from? There. Interesting. Did it happen yet? We were asking a question about would the prices go back to a certain point. What time frame are we asking it on? I had a screw it. I'll show you. I can't be so mean. Or I could show you over here in the chat screen, because we had this we had these crosses or not crosses. We had these flashes down here on the DMI at the bottom, and I was kind of wondering. So we had these flashes down here in the bottom of the DMI. Obviously, back here on the 23rd of August, I asked, would the prices hit 82 cents again? So looking back to the 23rd of August, I was on the 23rd of August, and here I was asking. So there's a flash, but we can see that that's during that flash. That wasn't it. After the 23rd of August, we can see here in 28th of September, the prices went up to 74. They went up to 74 just there. Since August, September here, 81, 82. No, we didn't get to 82 cents. Got to 80, 89, so we didn't get quite as high as that. Oh, so close. Wonder where that flash is. 1 hour time frame, perhaps? No. Should have written down the time frame. Such a moron. 15 minutes? No. 24-hour time frame then? 24-hour time frame. 24-hour time frame, people. 24-hour. Why am I pointing there? Makes no sense, eh? We did this flash though. You can see that this flash got filled. Anyway, what am I even doing here? Just talking about Sundial. Why? Because there's flashes. If anybody wants to kind of get involved in the flash chat with this thing, then you can. I don't know. Was it the 24-hour time frame? Why did I say 82 cents? Ask 23rd of August. 23rd of August. Ugh, let's make this easy on myself. Go back to the 23rd of August. It's really been a while since I've been on the sundial chart, huh? Or at least until I noticed that on the sundial chart. So we were over here asking the question, and it just ended. And there's that's 69 cents area. We've done that one. So 12 hours. 82 cents is this candle here at 1:30 p.m. This is so weird that this arrow here is so off-putting to me, because it keeps on pointing at other flashes that ultimately did get filled in. That would have been really tradable, easy, good flashes to get, nice percentages to be had here. And it keeps pointing at them. So I've obviously done something at some point there, pointing at, or no, it's leading me to believe that. But anyway, we're still looking. Asked on the 28th of August, was it that at 82 cents? That's 88 cents. Damn it, man. Where is it? This one? No, but that would be done already. I could have already found out quicker by going back to my goddamn video that I said this on. This one here got filled in as well already. Why would I have said that? That was the 11th of August. I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking at these things and I don't know why I said it. Can't remember. Why am I even looking at this? I don't even know. Let's do some TA on it though. It's a bit close to my face. How high up did that get? So ridiculous to be measuring things off this point, but I suppose it got there, so let's do it. Come on, get on that. Oh my god, there we have it. God, right. Blaspheming and everything. X, A, B, C. That B is 243. So you're going up towards like 3. What is it again? I tend to look these up, by the way. 786, I think, at the top here. 3.24. 3.24, yeah. 3.253, yeah. Target in here at the 786. 323. Can we get there off the back of that harmonic? Do we like that harmonic? I'm not sure if we do like that harmonic or not, but it's there in that sense. Not sure if we do. Anyway, that's the current. That's where we are. I mean, this sucks. Nah, this sucks. This harmonic. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at a harmonic that's got a 992 retracement. Although you can look. I mean, the 0.9. I mean, there's a 0.9. There is a freaking there is a Fibonacci number that exists somewhere and around about this crap where you're like up in the high 9s that Scott Carney himself likes. I don't like it. Yeah, really gas me. I love it. Y'all really gas me. I love it. I guess that means make you laugh, I think. Right. Cool. We're tuning out soon. That was their TA there. I could have done it on a screen that you could actually see that looked something like this, and it would have been more legible for you. But who cares? I mean, I'm interested in this for personal reasons. And shout out to Nick, Kimiyo's son, who probably won't ever see this, but he asked me to do TA on this one time, and I thought that was kind of cool of him. I'm only going to be really, really super interested in this thing in the longer term. If there is like a big turnaround here, legislation and the market dynamics from the weed stocks are pretty crap. Right. I sound morose. Why am I sounding morose? I shouldn't sound morose because I'm upbeat, feeling pretty positive. Really, I enjoyed the show. Kind of knew that they would be talking crap. But we had to come and check it out anyway. So where's my list of fun comments to stick up on screen? 46 behind banana fridge. Ooh, Lamau. No, you're always the mean teacher. Who's that? Me? Am I mean? Nah, I'm mean. You're pretty okay, I guess. Oh, right. You're chatting to each other. Good. I'm not mean. I'm the nicest. There's our gassing. Control Alt Delete looks for the bullshit program you've never seen end tree, then dig in and rehypothecate the ransomware. Indeed. Yes, do that. Do that. I still have most of my biscuit here. In fact, I've got all of the biscuit component of the biscuit. Exciting. Right, cool, right, good. So reverse roll call time, I would imagine, right? Unless there's a great outcry from you for me to stick around, then I'm off skis, I guess, right? So just you let me know. This was fun, by the way. Should we check in and see what those random people are saying again? Oh no, wait, it's Jamie's stream. No, that's cool. Jamie's stream's cool. The other guys, they were less fun. I give up on typing forever. Oh, you're spelling. Is it a spelling mistake? No, it wasn't. It's because you give up on typing. Oh, I could eat something, says KP. I'm sure you could. Is it bloody breakfast time over there? Great show as always. Thanks, Christy. I do have a big Irish head, FR. Must be the rock star. Must be the rock star. Must be the rock star in me. Going to eat one now. Oh, Jimmy, be careful. I got warned by my audience that they're full of coffee. You know, it's so easy to forget that. They taste good, but they'll keep you hyper. They'll keep you awake. You know, so watch out for that. You don't want to be up until 6 a.m. It's definitely don't eat too many. Where'd the package turn up from? Thieving Royal Mailman. It wasn't the Thieving Royal Mailman. I was on the phone to them talking about stuff, and while I'd gone through the process, I was chatting to you just beforehand. I got a buzz at the door, and the guy from the shop around the corner had come up and he gave me them. It was cool as well. It was like, hello, man. He's like, he saw my face and he recognized me because I've been going into the shop for the last 20 odd years. And he was like, he was a chemist, and he was like, oh wow. And I was like, yeah. You know how it is in culture society. So that was the equivalent of us having a really massive connection. Hey, buddy, you seem a bit scunnered today. Thanks for being a great human. I seem scunnered. Check out that word, by the way. Look at that from Sean, scunnered. Maybe it was a bit earlier on. At times I have been, right? At times I have been because I'm outside of my context here. This isn't when I do streams. It's breakfast time, but I will probably stick around after your stream and hang with your people in the Discord. Oh, KP. Those biscuits, though, I know, right? I want to eat it. I usually trade in base currency of the exchange. Good point. Rocket Crop, I have plans to send you a perm wig in the PO box. Really? That's nice. Thank you. So kind. Time in Scotland moves differently. Ask the Ambos. Oh, gosh. Cheapers, creepers. Don't ask them anything, please. The less they speak, the better. Always like when you come in on for us West Coasters. Thanks, Rocky Outcrop. Soft man. Thanks so much for being here as always. You're such a great guy. Did you all do the squats this morning? I feel it. They were some of the hardest squats I've done. The hardest squat I've done so far doing the squats was the pretend falling over squat that I did yesterday. That was hilarious. I think it was yesterday. The hilarious looking, really brilliantly, wonderfully executed, fantastic thing that only a really cool, sexy person like myself could possibly ever hope to pull off. That one. And then these ones today, though, as a group, definitely the hardest. I really put my ass into them, my back into them, my ass and my back into them, my back ass. That biscuit, OMG, I know, I'm holding it. Wow. Oh wait, no, that biscuit, KT. Yeah, I know, right? It's more than a biscuit. It's if you like a lot of chocolate on your bit. Oh, it's really great. You're great any time of the day, says Corpse Brigade. Oh yes, totally. Bang on the drums for Corpse Brigade. I love it when you're around. Sean, scunnered is a top quality word, laddie. Yes, it is, Sean. Yes, it is. Shout out. Might as well get this information out there as well. I'm talking about Segan. Segan is not actually pronounced that way. It's Sean. I'll just get his name up again. Hate to do this, but it'll help him in terms of live chat times. When people are like, oh, Sean, got your name right. It's worth it, but it's worth it. Let's go through the pain. Damn it, where's your name at? You've disappeared. I've got somebody saying your name at least. So there's that. Where is it, man? Oh, there we have it. There we have it again. Sean. There we go. Education, not Segan. Sean. That's good. All dark. All the dark is coffee. My goodness, man, it's really good. Have you had them as well, Katie? You've tried them as well. I imagine you have. They're really good. Watching you not eat that biscuit is giving me more anxiety than watching Jamie when it dips. Sorry, man. It's giving me anxiety too. Put it down. Thanks for that. Trace one, thanks. I'll revise what you said. Revise it? Oh, revisionism. Full action. Lol, it's probably not as salty. I'm salty. Is that what you're saying? Paranoia setting in. This is a bit descriptive. That's a bit descriptive. What is? What's happening at 7:20 p.m. EST? Nothing is. Don't worry about it. The Spy Vix plays used to be an unlimited money glitch. Now I'm lost and won't play it, lol. It was limited. Damn. The party came to an end. Unbelievable. How is that possible? Jimmy's review. This must be what it feels like to have an orgasm in your mouth. I don't know. Some people would probably, I don't know. I've never had an orgasm in my mouth. If you've had an orgasm in your mouth before, then let me know what that's like. I imagine that's where that word, I guess that's where that phrase came in at again, right? I guess that's where that came in at. Where was it said? I don't know. Somebody said salty earlier on. I think that's what they were talking about. Hiya, Cosmic Lightning Warrior, defending us. Defending us, defending the universe is this man right here. He defends all of humanity. He doesn't do it from here inside the Sol system. He's way off in Andromeda, many, many, many light years away, defending us from the Galaxians. They do have 200-meter high golden statues dedicated to him, but of course, we should really still send him care packages of love, because it's hard out there fighting on your own. Well, he does have the captain with him, at least. There's that. Rocky Outcrop, did you get any of my super chats beside the free one? Too many tabs. Mitchell, too many tabs. There's my thingy. Where's the alerts thing? Sean, Stephen Kimbler, Undead Doomslayer, 999. Thanks so much for that. MF Miggle Figgle Tiggle, as Jamie calls you. Renegade Suit Red Squirrel, thanks so much for that. For me, listening to you guys, TA is like someone with no musical talent listening to Hendrix. Oh wow, that's really quality. Legends in the chat. Wow, look at all these things that I missed earlier on. Sorry about that. Chris Sweeney, thanks for that. QQ, that's so awesome of you, man. You're freaking legend. Me S sent 499 super chat. Chris Sweeney as well earlier on. Ricey, please. Yes. No, we didn't have time for that. Sorry, man. It turned out that we got something we spent other time doing instead. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to disenfranchise you like that. I suppose we could spend a quick couple of minutes on Ricey. We could do this thing that I asked people to do for me in the homework section. Give me some 2-minute TA. Just had to get somebody message up there to get another message away. Didn't mean to. So 2-minute TA on Ricey. I'll have to change my bloody seat direction. Oh, R-Y-C-E-Y, isn't it? There we go, Ricey. Right. So there's the charts there. Hi, my name's Rocky Outcrop. This is my homework for the Rocky Outcrop show. I've decided to take a look at Ricey. Hope I can get it finished within approximately 2 minutes. We're at 11, 25 and 41 seconds. So let's see if we can get it finished before 11:27. Scrolling out here on the Ricey time frame and bringing up the 24-hour time frame just to get a handle of where we are right now. You can see that we've moved up with a series of gaps left behind us on the charts right here to actually take out our previous high on the left, which is interesting to see. Now, that previous high was part of a downward trend. I am checking in here with the oscillators just to see how we're doing in terms of our movements up the way, and we have come up towards the oversold, or overbought, I should say, territory, and moved back down towards the edge of the bullish control zone. That's happening in here as we're consolidating at a new high. Interesting stuff to see. We have also got a golden cross here in the 24-hour time frame, and the 50 simple period moving average, which does typically tend to get tested, is lining up currently with around about that 164 area, 15% or so drop towards the downside. So that might be something to look out for if we do go in for a retest of that. Various other areas, of course, we bear in mind along the way. These gaps are, of course, significant. I would like to see what these look like on the RR time frame. We should also see that with this most on the RR chart itself, sorry, time frame, and also see that the correspondence up here with the top end of our DMI in there at 60. I'm thinking that the play on at the minute would be a nice manageable short down towards that 162 area, and I would happily manage my risk with any movements beyond $1.99 or $2. I could do it if I suppose I wanted to avoid the round number, go for 210 or something like that. That's just my brief look at Ricey. I hope that was good homework for the Rocky Outcrop show. Just a couple of minutes here based on the 24-hour time frame. There are things that are missing from this analysis that if you would like, give me the sort of extra 1 minute of time that I could go on to explain, I suppose, for a quick couple of seconds. And I suppose maybe if I'd done this and looked at it in advance, I could have shaved a few more seconds off here. But as we're looking at this point just here on the charts, I'm seeing that we actually did drop down. We didn't get a real change in conditions in the RSI. We've moved back up the way. I think that if we do actually manage to take out our previous structural moves on the RSI with a push burst back into the bullish control zone, then maybe what we're looking at on the 4-hour time frame is the ability to get some bearish divergence in on this one. I would look for that. But of course, managing any sort of moves like that are based on these smaller time frames, and I would then therefore have a different type of approach to looking at that. I'd also bear in mind the gap then that's there. But like I said, I wanted to look at the RR chart, so thanks for indulging me for another extra minute on this analysis as we jump back up towards the 24-hour time frame and see that over here we do have other gaps on the chart, and we're putting in what could be conceivably something like where we were previously putting in a bull flag. It's moved up a little bit there, and that bull flag has disappeared somewhat with this sideways action, giving us that the ricey chart look, in fact, with this consolidation. And this consolidation is happening at a period where we are about to have like the potential to really change the conditions in this market for quite some time. We do know as well that there's a gap up here to be looking out for. So that would be in there about 167. This price, current price 143 corresponding. So yeah, I want to actually don't know 100% where that stands in terms of that gap on the ricey chart. But yeah, good movement up the way as possible. I would look here and see. I mean, this has gone on. I'm not adding value at this time in the video, I'm afraid. Sorry, a lot of wasted time. Would have been good with an edit. That little MACD cross is an interesting one to have had. We've obviously come up towards this thrust up the way without that MACD bearish divergence, without the bearish divergence on the RSI across these points, just here movements up the way. I do think that I would like to get a test in here around about the 120 for that 50 simple to cash off the back of this, to cash in on this golden cross. But sustaining prices within the bullish control zone here on the 24-hour time frame and staying above the neutral line on the 4-hour time frame and on the 1-hour time frame, pushing up above the neutral line, and on the 15-minute time frame breaking up above any of our previous resistance areas as we've been oscillating in this zone would enable me to think that we could go on for that bearishly divergent next high. I suppose the extra few minutes at the end were not really worth it with the comparison, so there you have it. I would edit that out and just submit the 2-minute video to Rocky for the homework. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Let the audience decide how my homework went that time. Okay, but anyway, there's an example for you. It doesn't need to be too hard. Okay. Now, danger. It doesn't need to be too hard, although I do appreciate that this is, of course, a difficult subject. You can relax when you're doing it, though. Take it easy. I was right in my face, that screen, the entire time. I had to push it away. Too much blue light makes Jack a dull boy. With many thanks to everybody that's tuned in today, I am wrapping up the show. Banana Fridge says, pump up the jam. Pump up the jam. We'll leave that message on screen for a couple of minutes so you all know to pump up the jam. Please also pump up the likes, pump up the shares, pump up the telling your friends and family about the amazing community that we have on the go here. Pump up the memberships, pump up the subscriptions, and soon enough, hopefully, I'll have some merchandise. You can pump up the buy-ins of that as well. Pump up the telling everybody about what we're doing here. Pump it all up. Thanks so much. Got messages in here. That's why I smoked beforehand. I don't know what that means. It's the greatest game ever already. That's totally true. Streamlabs wanting a wee bit of a shout out. KP, I am a member of Tadpole Games. Woo! Rocky, you're too good to us. Thank you for the bonus show. You're welcome, Cookie. Watch it back so you know the rules. Interesting stuff. That'll be about Tadpole Games. Do indeed. Apple Blossom and KT chatting there. I hope you do get the coffee apple. It will improve your life. But I see the ladies and they say... Did I see the IDs? Oh, brilliant. Thanks very much. Scotland is the best country. Thanks so much, Chrissa. Traysvon, I watched Pee-wee Playhouse a lot as a kid. Maybe we needed that. Right, okay, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the reference. Eddie Q, thank you. You're welcome, Eddie Q. Who said that? Oh, you. Get out of my garden. Tadpole Games. Right. Thank you for tuning in. Massive appreciation goes out to the folk that did the things that you did. So shout out Sean, Stephen, Undead, Renegade, Jamie, Chris, Me S, we did your Ricey in the end. It had to get delayed, but we did it there. And I think it was pretty good overall. The Ghost of Jiu-Jitsu guy sent $5 super chat. By the way, if you're confused by the Ricey chat, it's quite simple. We could see an extra push up the way. That's totally fine. That can happen. It's easy enough. You'd be able to see it start to happen on the small term time frames with pushes into that bullish control zone. You can see certain things in terms of it not being precluded from happening on the bigger time frames by prevention of it dropping down too far. These sorts of discussions we're having there, talking about the gaps on the charts, the lack of there's a certain number of gaps on the RR chart, a different number of chart gaps on the Ricey chart itself, slightly different trading conditions operating in the US hours over there versus the UK hours on the London Stock Exchange. The price differential being because the London Stock Exchange is talking about buying 100 of these at a time as opposed to one Ricey. So one Ricey represents 100th of an RR unit, which is 100 RR shares, and obviously GBP to USD differential there as well. But really, they are traded the same way. For things like patterns and liquidity, breakouts, starting volume, stopping volume, you could find insights by looking at Ricey, which might inform your RR trading, but much, much rarer than you'd find RR insights that will inform your Ricey trading. Do your charting on RR for that one. There you go. I mean, there's more value there than you can shake a stick at. Bulldog Buchanan, $9.99. Thanks for that earlier on. And Janine W, you're always so supportive as well. Thank you too. Texas Wanker, thanks so much for dropping by again. Really do appreciate you. I mean, earlier on today, you sent me $49.99. You're such a great person, and all that as well. So thanks so much. Sal, chart please. Sorry, Sal. Sorry for missing that at the time. Oh my God, Sal, it's nothing. I'm not specifically ignoring your messages. Absolutely not. That was 8 hours ago, in fact, that you said that. So there you go. I don't feel so bad. Whew. But then maybe I should have seen it. Who knows? Who knows? I've done the reverse roll call on that front. Now it's the reverse roll call for all you plebs. Renegade Red Squirrels says something. By the way, Red Squirrels, if you're wondering, I don't know what it's like over there in North America and what your feelings are on red squirrels, but you know that they have different dietary needs to grey squirrels, and grey squirrels essentially eat them out of their house and home. So we love the red squirrels here. One time I actually saw an albino squirrel. That was pretty cool. Couldn't tell if it was like albino grey or albino red. Think that it was albino grey squirrel. Do you know what else as well? My mum has seen 2 albino deers on the road in the Highlands in Scotland off the side. Can you imagine seeing an albino deer? You know, you'd think that it was a ghost, wouldn't you? Amazing stuff like that. Can you imagine? Anyway, Apple Blossom, thanks so much for tuning in. Apple Blossom, who herself sent me $50 earlier on today. Really wonderful, generous person. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the chat about your theory. Just for anybody who didn't catch that part, maybe you're watching Jamie's show earlier on. It's quite simple. You search MOAS in the box on GameStop. I'll just do that now so you can see this in front of your eyes. Search MOAS. MOAS is, of course, short for Mother of All Short Squeezes, something that very much everybody at the GameStop land is aware of. You search for that. What comes back as your search result? Wow! This, and the expected date is written there. It's expected date of the MOAS product is in there on their site. Now, there is a slightly different spelling here for Mosasaurus, but that would be the mother of all short, you are, hedges are fucked squeeze. That one there, that's some sort of little message from Ryan Cohn. As good a theory as anything else that anybody's got on the go at the minute. So shout out to her. Thanks for that one. Glad to see you, Rockies and all. Dead Boy, thanks for tuning in. Banana Fridge, thanks so much. By the way, just giving people the shout out for the donations to put in. I really love all of you as well. 50% of Scotland's UK resources, 10% of the population. Scotland, good night. Away. Scotland is the best, by the way. If you don't realise that and you live in Scotland, then stop voting for English-centric parties. Let's do independence thing here. We could do it. Be a really socially forward, good, positive country. And of course, producing 100% electricity through green means, and achieve our 2020 world targets and be an inspiration for the rest of the world and show them how they can do it and actually be a positive force for good and able to express ourselves on the world stage as the player that we are. We've always been denied a seat at the table. Do you remember whenever Alex Salmond, the First Minister of Scotland, was asked David Cameron if he could go with him to talk about the climate summit stuff, which he excluded us and denied us access to? I think Scotland deserves a seat at these tables. I want us to be there. I want us to be leading the world in the future. I think that we can do that. In fact, I think think that we are leading the world already, and that we have been ever since the Scottish Enlightenment. We've been leading the world, and we continue to do so on a daily basis. We love it here. We should vote for independence. Let's fucking go. Anyway, thanks so much to Colosseum. Thanks so much as well for tuning in. Thanks to KT for tuning in. Sarah Restino, big things happening. Sean, Banana Freeze, Curran Robert, Christy, who else we got in here? Jess Smith, XXX, Mohidala, who tuned in, asked the question, didn't chat again. I gave him the chat back with it. He didn't tune in. He didn't speak again in the chat. Oh, he did. Rock Outcrop, I've been following Jamie from the start, but that was a nice explanation. Thanks. Brilliant. Excellent. Nice one. Sweet. Sweet. Good one. Well done. Well done. You spoke again in the chat. Little did you know it, you almost got yourself banned for not having spoken back after that, by the way. So almost happened. Didn't happen though, because you're awesome. Adele Idris, thanks for tuning in. Piga, Navanethan, Nairon, that great guy, Navanethan. You're so brilliant, dude. Kim, Katie Babes, Chris, Sweeney, so many people. Thank you. And with that said, we've been waiting all night to hear them, the intro clips, and I'm off again. I'll see you tomorrow. Things will be taken much, much easier on tomorrow's stream if I can. But how many times I've said it, I've never once actually properly delivered after having said that. And I've said it at least 100 times. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Tonight was actually just supposed to be us looking at some other person streaming and talking about GME and just chatting with each other, and I'm mad. Thanks for tuning in. Hit like, subscribe. Hit like, subscribe. Subscribe to TradeSpotting. Check out TradeSpotting. Hit like. Hit like, subscribe. Hit like. Hit like. Hit like, subscribe. Sticker bingo!